And we're back here once again with another episode of the Iron Man podcast, episode 324. Now, if you're watching this from John's side, I actually caught him before he was actually going to go to bed because, as you know, he's old, so he's got to go to bed, like, you know, to get his nap, his beauty
young
sleep.
people don't go to bed. Yeah, I get it.
What do you? So when he wakes up,
sleeps.
Yeah, that's the thing, is sleep is for losers, as you guys know. And we're going to go for like just a little bit, you know, not too long. You know, Iron and Selena, we're not feeling well tonight. So I was like, you know what? I have a Jewish lady and a guy from Long Island. So white people always coming in handy, actually. But we have an interesting story. I'm pretty sure John's heard about the news earlier today. DC and Marvel actually teaming up because they realized the sales are in the goddamn toilet. It's crazy, actually.
Yeah, back in the 90s, the sales were so bad, they teamed up and they made the Amalgam universe.
Yep.
And it was like printing money. It was everybody, and everybody got it. I got it.
The crossovers were really fun.
They were fun. They were fun. Exactly. That's exactly what comic books were supposed to be. And I don't know why they stopped. The rumor has it that Joe Quesada and Dan DiDio got into some sort of words, and that's what ended it. But now it's the same thing. Marvel and DC, the tails are in the plummet, and they're bringing back the Amalgamated to save them again.
Yeah, but part of the problem was, even though the sales were plummeting, the stories weren't completely horrible, and the people writing them weren't creatively bankrupt. So when they did the amalgamation, it was kind of like the What If universe.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was so much fun because we had good writers. I'm sorry, even if they bring back the amalgamation universe, even if Marvel and DC team up, if they still write the same crap they've been writing, they're still not going to make money.
Well, are they making new ones, or are they just reprinting?
So you know how recently they've been reprinting like their I don't know if you know this. So recently they've been reprinting their older stories as epic collections instead of trade paperbacks. But
I did not. I was not aware.
So I'm assuming that this one, they said they're going to be piling them up in a new reprinted omnibus edition. Actually.
So they're just taking the old stories that they already know that people actually like and they know are good, and they're just repackaging them so that people who collect will want to buy them again.
Basically, they're admitting, hey, our older shit was way better than anything newer. Please save us. I'm begging.
Yep. Well, let me ask you, youngsters. Tiny, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I turned 40 in April.
Oh, okay. You got a young voice. I thought you were going to say like 25 or something.
And it's funny. I have a disease that literally has stopped me from aging for the last 20 years, so I still look much younger than I am, as well as sound much younger than I am.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, would you guys see like comic book swag, like T-shirts and handbags and lunchbox? It's all from at least 10 years and older.
Even older, dude.
Most of it,
People still wear the original Superman crest.
Yep.
Because it's that impressive to them.
Yeah,
you know, you're
never gonna get me. You're never gonna get me to wear anything from Man of Steel ever.
Like,
I'd rather walk naked.
That's impressive. Actually, please send me pics, sir. It didn't happen, but
so send us some Man of Steel T-shirts. There you go.
Like, out of anything comic related, what I see usually sells is like the old Marvel logo. Remember, there's that iconic poster where it's like Spider-Man with this pose and it's like Hulk behind him and it's like the X-Men next to him. Like, all the older stuff sells. There's a reason why they're printing epic collections, people. They know, hey, our new universes are kind of trash, but hey, we have our older stuff, and that's why I think they're like somewhat hurting stores too. Like, stores have to also buy these epic collections, right, from their distributors, and people also go to these stores to buy back issues as well. So it's one of these things where it hurts the stores that rely on back issues because you could just give them an epic collection. So in theory, what do you think will make them more money? A $50 epic collection, or making money off the back issues you have to find in a long box? Well, John has long boxes, so.
Let me ask you, youngins, what was the last time you went in and bought old Avengers comics from the AG floppies, and paid $15 an issue?
Shoot.
No. I'll go and I'll spend like $3, $4 an issue for old Witchblades or some of the other Top Cow stuff I liked when I was in high school, but no.
When was the last time you went in and spent $18.99 on trade paperbacks of Hush, or last Halloween or trade paperbacks of. So, you get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I know there are a lot of people who still go and they still search for them and they'll still pick them up. But yeah, I mean, part of the problem is for
It's
me,
just
it's I don't have a lot
easier,
of
just-
cash, so I have to really, really, really want something. But
Yeah.
for a lot of young people, I think it's just unfortunately they short attention spans lead to seeming laziness. Like the idea of having to sit there and search for the comics you're looking for, I think is very unmodern
Well,
in a way to some
factor
people.
factor in how much easier it would be. So, like, let's say you actually did go into a comic book store, and maybe your kid heard their favorite YouTuber say the Batman Hush story. Instead of actually hunting through long boxes trying to find all the issues, if they have a freaking a trade paperback that has all of them, guaranteed that parent's gonna buy that full graphic novel instead of looking through the box. They just are,
Okay.
But I think the point you were trying to make, MSK, is not what people are more likely to buy necessarily, but what was going
Yeah.
to make the stores more money in the long
Yeah,
run.
the stores make money through back issues now. It's one of the reasons why people still
Yeah,
even
but-
go.
Yeah, but the stores also make money on selling things, and if
That's true.
if they got 2 copies of Batman 184, I'm just making up numbers,
Yeah.
and they sit there for 30 years, or they got a trade paperback that includes 184, and they sell 6 or 7 copies a year,
Yeah.
Let
No,
me
I
put
get
it
it.
this way. My comic book store, the day it closed, had 3 or 4 long boxes of individual Watchmen issues from
Oh,
1 to
wow.
12.
Wow.
Yeah, he probably had like 15 to 20 of
Mhm.
every issue. People were coming in and buying the graphic novel collection. Nobody wanted the back issues. They were there. So what's making more money for the store?
Oh, that's also another reason why they'd probably want it all together. Less space. It's much
Yeah, I was about
easier
say,
to have them.
you don't have to worry about losing a piece here and there, or when you move, or I mean, there's a lot of reason to get the omnibuses and the
That's what I
epics
do.
and the-
I know people always say get back issues, but if there's an iconic story that people say, hey, I want you to read this to review it, I think you'll like it. I'm just gonna get an omnibus or whatever, however many paperbacks that come with it. 'Cause it's just not
The first
it's like
omnibus
not
I ever
feasible.
got. The first omnibus I ever got was Darkest Night, and I was like, I was like, I can just keep reading. I don't have to go get another comic because it's so cool.
I don't blame it. If I was to start right now, I wouldn't be getting back issues. I wouldn't be getting floppies. But I started in 1974. I got floppies.
Yeah.
There's also stacks right there next to you.
Yeah,
Holy
we can see
crap.
them.
Good lord. Yeah. How do you always critique long
There you go,
boxes
Tiny.
though?
That's my to-read pile.
See, that's what you
Nice.
show women. You show women the size of your comic
You want to see my
stacks.
huge stack? There's my spinner rack.
You have a
That's so
spinner rack?
cool.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think I've ever seen someone with a spinner rack in their house. That's so cool.
Yeah. When
Good
I moved
Lord.
in here, it's funny because I was telling my wife, I got to get a spinner rack over here. She didn't even bat an eye. She was just like that. I've been waiting.
Well,
my whole life.
looking at everything behind you, I'm not surprised that she didn't bat an eye at that point.
He's good. I joke around that this house is schizophrenic. If you go upstairs, it's like Little House on the Prairie. You come downstairs and it's nerd kingdom. She does whatever she wants upstairs. I do whatever I want down here.
There you go.
That's compromise. And Valentine's Day's coming up, and Tiny said she'd be my Valentine. Isn't
Oh,
that
there you
true?
go.
Actually, I don't remember saying that, but sure.
Well, that's just
You forgot to do this. You got to do this. You're gonna be my Valentine.
Like my thing is like I like when stores can sell back issues because it just naturally is going to bring them more money and people that'll want to get their stuff. The problem is it's like you can't exactly beat $40 of like the entire run instead of going back and finding things, boarding them, all that stuff. It's like it's a lot, and some stores don't even have their stuff alphabetized. They're just looking at just random shit for hours. Like that's just boring for the most part.
Well,
Plus, you're just
actually,
really
I have
into that
found
stuff.
I have found some series that I wouldn't have seen otherwise that way. But yeah, it's not really the best way to deal with things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I went to one place where there was a bunch of just random long boxes that were set up by a publisher. So like there was a big box of Top Cow, there was a big box of DC, there was a big box of like Marvel. I was like, or multiple boxes of Marvel and DC, but like none of it was done by letter alphabetizing. It was literally just go look for whatever you want in those boxes with labels from the publishers. But I found
This is my picture that I always show when we talk about comic book collection. This is my comic book room.
holy shit. That
That's
is
big.
amazing.
That's big. You know,
That's
and my wife only says
crazy.
that about me. Actually.
Hey,
And those are all long boxes, right?
Could you bring up Hero Darkly Dark, his comment over
Yeah,
here?
yeah. What's up, Yang? Everyone that doesn't check out, I did a one-on-one with Yang on his channel. Actually,
Yang.
Oh, cool.
yeah, Yang's awesome. And what's up, Hero? How you doing, bro? I thought John
Yeah.
went to bed. He's old. That's how it works.
He was just on my channel. We talked for an hour, and I was like, I gotta go to bed. And I was upstairs. I was laying in bed, and I got a message from Master Swag, and I never turned down Master Swag.
Yeah.
I'm on vacation, so if I start nodding out, I did not have a heart attack. I did not die. I did not
You're like the opposite of what Joe Biden would be right now.
Yeah.
You know, Lord. But like,
I like
Even
Gray.
my-
Gray says I shouldn't agree. Gray says I should not agree to be your Valentine.
What's that?
wow.
Gray said I
Dang.
shouldn't be
So
his
Gray
Valentine.
is stepping on my toes. Oh my god. Jeez, man.
C block, Gray.
I think what also would benefit stores is, man, I know DC is going to do this now too. Did you hear about the news that came out last year? They're going to do like some DC manga. So it's not really going to be like manga. Basically, they're going to try and take iconic stories like Epic Collections. Instead of doing like an Epic Collection, they're going to put them in like Walmarts and they're going to be in like, well, so if Batman Hush, that being like what, the thriller section or something like
I
that.
guess.
They're going to try and do it with
Good
multiple
idea.
stories like that. Yeah, it's not a bad
You're
idea.
taking the stories that already exist and then just putting them in a more manga art style. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Manga's selling. You
Yeah.
gotta be selling.
Yeah, and DC, credits them. They probably, I know people think like webtoons are very big in comics. DC actually has a webtoon book. And the thing here is,
No.
you got to factor in, it's a conscious choice about why people aren't buying books. The highest selling stuff, not only is Dogman, which is a book made for like 6 to 10-year-olds and manga. So like, people are actively not choosing to buy books. It's not that they don't know that they exist, because it's hard to get into it. But once people do, they try and navigate their way to like what characters they like, what characters they runs and stuff like that.
But I don't think the reason manga is selling over regular comics is the art style. And that's what they're trying to claim, that it's the art style. And if
Yeah.
we put our books in that art style, then they'll sell. I'm sorry, I don't think they're
Well,
gonna
that's
sell
why I
all
think
that
it's
well.
more
If you
conscious.
hire shitty artists, Walt
Yep.
Simonson said on Twitter that he was available for work. And then he said that he received the note that nobody wants Walt. Walt Simonson's a master. He's absolutely great.
Oh, yeah.
The thing is, Walt Simonson probably wants a couple $100 per page, because you get paid
Right.
for your talent. What they're doing is, I can't even remember the woman's name who drew Squirrel Girl. It looks like I drew it. It's terrible, and I don't have the arrogance to
And
think
I used to really like Squirrel Girl, so I was pissed.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah,
I thought
she's
you
a new-
I thought
she's
we were
a-
about-
she's
I thought we
a
were about
native
to do
New
it now.
Yorker.
We agree.
She's a native New Yorker, and she kicked Thanos' ass. I love Squirrel Girl.
But Squirrel Girl, it's Hendricks. Is that her name? I forget the woman who drew it.
I
But
don't
it's
remember
garbage.
that name.
I bet you she's cheap, and that's
Probably,
it.
yeah.
So manga, these manga artists, these guys are masters of their craft.
Mhm.
Look at some of these manga like Berserk and stuff. It's incredible, and it's one person's vision. They're not
Mhm.
compromising. They do what they want. They're super talented. They spend their whole life, and they have so much competition in Japan for the
Mhm.
dollar or the yen or
Mhm.
whatever the hell they use in Japan.
Yeah.
That it has to be top notch. They can't afford to slack.
But
Who's
that's the other reason why
competition?
manga's so nice is what you said right there. One art, one vision. There's
Right.
one person
Yeah.
telling the story. They know what they want. They might change it or update it or as it goes along, advance it somewhat. I mean, MSK knows, everyone knows I'm a
Hello.
huge One Piece fan. I'm the biggest
Okay.
One Piece fan. And you can
No,
definitely
I'm a
see
bigger
that,
One Piece fan.
yeah, right. You can definitely see that Oda Sensei has his art has progressed over 25 years. His storytelling has
Yeah.
progressed over
Mhm.
25 years, but it's still all the same story. I still feel like I'm reading the same people. The characters don't change. They grow, but they're not different in people.
You don't want
With-
50
with-
different versions of Nami? You know,
The,
What-
the-
what-
the
10
thing
different
is,
10 different
with-
Luffys, one Mexican, one black, one Jewish. There, you can identify with them at that point. you know?
Isn't Berserk finally a black lesbian? I mean, isn't finally?
Isn't that what we want, though? That's
Yeah.
what we really want in our
Well, that's like-
storytelling.
that's like the people who came up to me at San Diego Comic Con. I don't think it was last year, but it was the year before, I think, but maybe whatever. I'm in my wheelchair. all dressed up. I'm ready, ready to go. And
Is that what
they
your
come-
picture's from?
Yep, that's what my picture's from.
Are you
And-
cosplaying in that picture, or are you? Just
I was
wearing-
cosplaying a character named Rogue from a new indie comic that was just hitting. I had been able to meet the creator and talk to him, and it wasn't a complicated costume. So I was like, yeah, I'll go as your character to Comic-Con and hand out some pamphlets and stuff. Actually had a lot of fun. I handed out pamphlets for Dave Tomasi's Rogue and for Jason Sandberg's Jupiter.
Cool.
It was a lot of fun. So that's another thing. Anyone out there, if you're an independent comic creator who wants shit given out at Comic-Con by the cute girl in the wheelchair, just let me know. But
Yeah, you could do the whole emotional thing. Nobody's going to say no to anybody in a wheelchair.
there's that. But
You know, You
but, like these girls come up to me and they kneel down so that they're at the same eye level with me, which is ironic because I can actually stand up. I just can't stand for long periods, which is why I have the chair.
okay?
And they kneel down. They go, "Did you know there's a character for you now? There's a spider person who's disabled." And I'm like, "You mean the trans psycho bitch who runs around with a wheelchair strapped to her back? Yeah, thank you, no thank you, go away."
Yeah, there already was a character for
That's
me.
not
It was
good.
called
That's not a good
Superman.
story.
Yeah, there already was a character. It's called Superman. I like Superman. What what? Why are you telling me who I have to like and identify with?
Exactly.
You know
And
why you like my favorite out of all the characters in comic books? I hate this term identify, but we'll use it for the purposes of this discussion. Is Ben Grimm the Thing? You know,
Hmm.
a monstrous Jewish guy from Brooklyn. I'd like to think that that's not me. You know, but I love the guy who was given a poor hand of cards. He if you read the early Fantastic Four, he was angry, he was bitter,
Yeah.
he overcame it, and he
Yep.
became the biggest sweetheart.
Mhm.
Tell me if you can't identify with that, you're a monster. You know, do
Yeah.
you have
Let
to
me-
have the same eye color as the? I don't have the ever loving blue eyes. You know, but I love the Thing.
I mean, I ended up in my wheelchair right around the new 52 coming out.
Okay,
And I have to say, I was really angry and in many ways still am that
Mhm.
they gave freaking Oracle the magic surgery and fixed her back so she could go back to being Batgirl.
Oh, I didn't even
you-
think of that.
Are you kidding me? Oracle
Oh,
was so
that's
badass.
awesome. Yeah.
She was amazing. And she had this horrible thing happen. She'd earned her place. She'd become like so important to so many different heroes.
Mhm.
She was amazing. She was the best analyst, the best intelligence. She was on top of everything. And in more than one episode, she took out her batons and beat the living shit out of someone from the chair.
Yes.
So
I agree with you. Oracle was a great character. Now, you want to know how it's a unique character? They haven't replaced her with anybody else. There
That's
is no Oracle in
No,
DC right now.
Well,
But there-
like you
there-
don't want a Spider Woman with crutches that can
no, I
swing
really don't.
from your chair.
I thought Oracle. I totally agree with you, and I really liked her as the information broker, the mover and shaker, and the boss. You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
and she wasn't a ripoff of Xavier. She was she
Yeah.
was a unique character. I agree with you, but I was upset when they put her back as Batgirl because to me that was a step backwards. Because
Absolutely.
They had 6 or 7
Absolutely.
Batgirls since then, so they didn't need Barbara Gordon as Batgirl, but Barbara Gordon needs Oracle needs Barbara Gordon.
Absolutely. And I was just, I'm not normally one who's like diversity and inclusive pro, but I'm like, you're always
Representation.
screaming about diversity and you took away my girl in the chair, man.
Oh, you want to talk about
Sun Spider.
Oh, great.
Oh God, is that what that
Oh,
bitch's name is?
But Tiny, you want something that totally pissed me off, and I have to laugh, is they retroactively made Alan Scott the gay Green Lantern,
Oh God.
thus
Oh.
nullifying Obsidian, who was
Yeah.
his son, who was legitimately the first DC openly gay character, and everybody loved him.
Not anymore. Now he's following in his father's footsteps.
No, but
But you know what I mean?
this idea that they're going to take characters that have been well established, that have existed for decades, and they're going to change them so they can get this random inclusive aspect. When it's proof that they don't know anything about the characters, they don't know anything about their history, because by doing so, you're getting rid of a legitimate, like,
Yeah,
where's North Star? Why is it North Star out there being gay and powerful and amazing? Like,
Yeah.
there were
Because
characters that were
he
these
was
things.
gay
You
from
don't have
day
to.
one, and we liked him. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Obsidian was nothing from day one. That's the problem with Obsidian, is he didn't have a personality. But in Infinity Incorporated, he had legitimate problems dating, girls. Like, he would go out on dates and he would double date with other characters, and the other characters would like be successful with the dates, and and then he would go home alone. So it made sense to turn him or evolve him, or maybe he was from day one and we just didn't get it.
Yeah.
Gay. And I remember when that reveal happened in the Manhunter comic of the late 90s, and I was just like, okay, that makes sense. There was he was a blank slate that you could build on.
Yeah.
He wasn't an already established thing that you had to just deconstruct to recreate, like Alan Scott. So now it's like,
also like the idea that you want these inclusive characters, but you don't seem to care if they make any sense to exist where you're shoving them into other people's personalities. I mean, I got so angry when they made Tim Drake gay, because my attitude was Damian was the perfect fucking character. If you really want to do that in the Bat family, you make Damian gay, and then you have to deal with the whole fact that Raish isn't going to get his line continued and how freaked out and pissed off he would be. You get legitimate issues that people have.
Tiny, are you writing comics?
No, I wish I was.
Wait a minute.
I'm making a comic. You know, I'm going to be crowdfunding it pretty soon. Do the same. You seem like you got really good ideas.
Don't give her hope.
I can't draw at all. I make stick figures.
I'm sorry, Tiny. What did you say?
I can't draw at all. I make stick figures that are ugly.
I'm hiring an artist, you know, because I can't draw either.
I always told her just write a straight novel. Just have your characters go through that way. You can literally do print on demand, Amazon.
That's true. I was like, my attitude is there are ways to put these characters that you seem to need to violently need shoved into our world.
Well,
that's fine. There's ways to do it, but every single time they do it badly for some reason.
That's what I wanted to bring up. With like, you know how they announce these characters as bi? If anyone who has less than a 3 IQ would understand this, when they announce characters as bi, they mean gay. These characters are sucking dick forever, and you have to get down with it. Like, Tim Drake is gay now, right? Fucking Superman's son, gay. Tim Drake, gay. Iceman, gay. Hot Girl, probably is gay right now.
Push it for Peter Parker and the Human Torch.
Oh god,
a couple.
Spider-Man kissed the Thing randomly in an issue at one point, like earlier last year. Someone showed a snippet of it. Hopefully that was fake, because that would be disgusting. I like my women to be like my favorite superheroes, X-Men. True. I do too.
Clip it.
Yeah. I remember they had that meme of like, this is the movie we need right now, superhero fatigue. We'll stop.
Michael Pena said that just so that he would say it so we can clip it. So somebody has to clip it.
Yeah. Well, so my thing here, you know, with the stores is I don't really know how much they can do. They're essentially taking the brunt of everything. You know, they're ordering the overhead. They can't sell it. I imagine a lot of stores are just living off of back issues, selling toys, you know, because who's selling this recent stuff? If you check the numbers, because it is like stores buying this stuff, the only stuff that really does well is Mark Miller stuff when he's ever doing anything, and like the new Transformers G.I. Joe stuff. Guys, that's like, or Spawn is like okay. Or like Batman is like there too. But like the only reason why Batman's there by default is I actually checked some of the numbers I did in the video. The highest selling stuff for DC was Batman, but Batman has like 13 titles. I mean, legit has like 14 titles. I'm not kidding. All of them were like from the
all
newest
that under Batman, and so that's why they can say he's still doing well, but he's not by himself.
For anyone who doesn't know this, so there's everyone knows Batman by Detective Comics, everyone knows Superman by Action Comics. DC is so critically bankrupt. There's that for them, and then they have Superman and then Batman. That's how much they want to stretch these characters to make the most out of them. And not even that, they're adjacent characters to these guys too. Who reads Penguin books? Who is that for? Who is sitting there
wait a minute. Penguin has his own title now?
He has his own title currently going on right now. All Batman adjacent characters have titles like Batman Beyond, Penguin, Catwoman, Red Hood, Nightwing, obviously. You know? Who's interested in Penguin books?
Is this the Penguin from before he goes straight and opens up the ice?
No, this is Oswald with a glass in his eye, having his own books.
Okay.
Who's buying that shit?
Okay.
There's Batman Off-World. There's Gargoyle Batman. There's City of Madness. There's Batman, the Detective Comics. You have those two. You have Batman Brave and the Bold, Batman and Robin. That's like 7 titles just named to people.
That's insane.
That's
There's
insane,
no way those
right?
stories are being kept straight. There's no way those stories are being
kept straight. Okay, I like that one. They don't keep their characters straight anymore.
That's not what I meant, and you know it, but yeah.
Ugh, God. Check your Twitter inbox, John.
Yeah. He asked me a question.
I just feel like there's a lot of ways these things could have been done that made sense and that still allowed for classic heroes and even classic villains to be who they were, and you can still add in people of every race and ethnicity, every religion, and every sexual orientation. You can do that. You don't have to hack at these things so that you can shove shit into it.
Yeah,
There are
I'm glad
ways
you
to
brought,
make
I'm
it
glad
work,
you brought
and
that
they
up.
refuse to even take the time and energy to try.
Same thing I asked John, and we talked about this on his second
Time
appearance.
is money.
When you have a baseball anime, the baseball anime creators aren't going like, we need to insert ourselves in these superhero manga books. They don't say that because you know why? That's stupid. Soccer manga isn't trying to be like, hey, soccer lives matter. Shonen Jump, put my soccer cover on in My Hero Academia because I want to be included in that. That doesn't happen. You start talking like that, you're fired probably over there. Don't stand that shit. Like manga doesn't do that. They don't do that at all. Like
Japan hasn't been infected with SJW-ness now. They don't have that woke progressive disease that
and yet they don't. They really, really don't. And yet they have many books that are gay based. They have many books that are bi. They've got books for every freaking weird thing you could possibly be. And
and one issue, what was it? One issue of Berserk sold more than the entire Western American comic book industry.
That does not surprise me at all.
That is depressing. God.
I forget who it was, but I saw an article that some group mentioned to like, oh, you're gonna bring your comic over here, we got to change it to fit in. And the Japanese response was, we're sending this over as a favor to you. You guys are giving us pennies on the dollar. We don't need America as a market. It's an afterthought. So we're not changing anything. If you want to change it, then we won't.
Well, I mean, that's like the big hullabaloo that's been happening the last month with the localizers, where the Japanese went, well, we couldn't really do anything about you before because we needed people who spoke both languages to be localizers, but now we can use AI and fire all of you idiot SJWs who keep changing the words to our comics and messing with our anime. And they're screaming,
I keep forgetting Grey Poupon here. I'm sorry.
Don't forget the Grey Poupon, man. You can't do that.
So I'm going to show you guys this right now.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Grey, before you go. Before I show
I was going to say, I don't know, with the localizer.
No.
So AI is coming in for that. Like, that makes perfect sense. But I don't know. Do you have any fear? Or John, with you being a writer, do you have any fear of like AI coming in to write this? Like,
no.
Couldn't it do better than what we have currently?
I look at it like this: if you're not taking money out of my pocket, I'm gonna write my stories. I'm gonna hire Renzo to draw my comics. If you are gonna buy an AI story over me, you were never my customer in the first place. You were never my fan. I don't fear you. The only people who fear that are people who have no faith in their talent, their ability. So go ahead.
That makes sense.
Bring out the AI. Do whatever you want.
And it sounds like you and Tiny, have ideas that are not like what, this mainstream thing is kind of going in that people aren't necessarily digging. But what about the mainstream instead of hiring these people to like throw their agenda in? What if they actually did the AI to do that? Like, would it not be probably
I would
more
trust
faithful?
it more
Because it would
honestly.
actually go off of the, lore that is there. Like, it would have to go off something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just kind of wonder if it
AI,
couldn't be an improvement.
the AI
It's
goes up
worse than what's going
after
on
what
now.
it's been. Oh, sorry. So what I was going to say was the AI has to be programmed. It has to be given information. So if you feed in all the old comics, I think AI would probably give us much better than what these people are giving us today from the mainstream comics, because the AI will actually be aware of the lore. Half these people don't fucking read the books that they're then asked to write. They don't go back and read all the backstories and make sure they're A, not copying something that already happened, and B, keeping characters true to who they're supposed to be. I mean, it's like someone walked in and...
You got to
Did
keep
you
them
see that
straight.
video that came out of all of these people saying that they were told to not read the source material?
Yep.
No, but that's the crazy thing. So before I'm going to tie that into something that we always talked about as fans. Then as fans, even if you like the movie that you got or whatever, most fans would always say, I maybe they didn't, because you had to guess, maybe they didn't read the books or the source material. No. Now it's been more confirmed. These people don't even read it. Not even don't read it, don't even like it. They actively hate it, actually.
Or they're told not to read it by the producers. I'm like, I'm sorry.
So there's no
if you're
guessing
telling
anymore.
the writers for something not to read the past, by definition, you're a bad producer.
So
I
by
read an
definition
article-
now, mhm,
I
we
read an
don't have to
article-
guess anymore. That's it. We don't have to guess anymore. We know they don't read this stuff. So any
Right.
fan going, you don't know if they didn't read it. We do know. They admit it to you. That's not me making that up. We have a person that'll say that.
I read an article that said that people who were working on the sets had to keep it quiet that they were actually like Star Wars fans. They had to keep it quiet that they were Star Wars fans.
Mhm.
You know, you know,
They got angry. They got angry at Henry Cavill because he kept the books on the set with him, and
Yep.
he would say, "I don't think this makes sense." And they're like, "Well, we're going to do such and such," and he'd literally pick up the book and turn to like page 260 and say, "See, it says right here." He wouldn't do that,
What a prima donna.
and they hated him for it. And it's like he was the only reason that any of that was good at all.
the only reason why I even turned on episode 1 of The Witcher, because I never heard of it, I never played the games, was Henry Cavill. I like Henry Cavill. I didn't like Man of Steel, but I like Henry Cavill.
Yeah,
And-
I
And
like
now that
Henry
he's not
Cavill.
on it, there's no reason to watch it anymore.
Yep, I like Henry Cavill, and on top of that, I never played the video games, but I read all the books. I love reading
Oh,
books. I
wow.
love reading lore, and I read all of the books, and I was
Very
like,
good.
damn. And I really liked the stories. It was really dark in certain places, and it was really funny because it was so obviously written by an Eastern European.
Hey, why you gotta talk about me like that? What did I do to you, Tiny?
What?
Do you read the comics?
Are there
Dark
Witcher
Knight.
comics?
Are there?
There's Witcher comics. They're excellent.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, I'll look for those. I did not know there were Witcher
They're
comics.
excellent because I don't know why, because I really didn't like the show. Even though Henry Cavill was on, I didn't like season 1, so I never went back to season 2. But I was like, let me try the comics. Let me try, and they are excellent. So
Oh,
I'm
wow.
really
Okay, yeah,
interested
no,
in reading the book.
I'll look for them.
Yeah, Dark Horse. It's on my spinner rack, but it's not facing me right now. But yeah, I'm not going to get up.
No worries. But I mean, like, there's so much from the books that they could have done that still could have fed into their diversity, inclusion, whatever crap. And they refused to do it. They kept putting all this modern crap in there that had nothing to do with the stories. And it was like, why do you buy these IPs? Why do you spend money for these IPs if
Right.
you're not going to do anything that makes
Just
any
make up
sense?
your own shit. Because what they do it is they're level jumping. They want the attention, they want the clout that the source material brings, but then they want to do their own stuff.
But they
in
also
order-
supposedly want the money from the fans that made
Right.
those IPs famous, but then they take away everything that we love and get mad at us when we don't give them our money.
I know this shit's not going to sell. Who's watching Rings of Power? You know. But
Besides
they
Despero,
want the gravitas that goes with the name and the source material, but they don't want to earn it. It's unearned gravitas. Like me and you, Tiny. Me and you will make up a source material, and then we shop it around, we sell it, we make it. It's going to take 17, 18 years.
yeah.
But they don't want to do that work. You know what I mean? They don't want to do. They want to go right to the reward part. They don't want to participate in any risk.
Yeah.
And the work
Oh.
shows because that's the way they write.
Yep.
Sorry, there was a ambulance outside. So here
Oh.
was it was
I'm gonna
a
turn off
post.
my camera because I got to blow my nose.
Okay, you're fine, man. This was what was posted today. DC and Marvel present the greatest team ups of all time. So yes,
So it's all
the
the
one
old
that
stuff.
pretty much basically we need you to buy our shit because we are losing money bad. The vast and varied history of DC versus Marvel returns to print for the first time in decades with 2 massive volumes collecting the universe-bending comic book crossovers between the greatest characters in pop culture. These fantastic stories, originally co-presented by the 2 powerhouse comic book publishers, have been sought after and hard to find for most readers, but they're making their return in DC versus Marvel Omnibus and DC Marvel The Amalgam Age Omnibus, both publishing on August 6, 2024. And yes, I will buy them. Whichever one has the Superman Spider-Man crossover,
Those are
whichever
good.
one has the Batman Daredevil,
Dark was excellent.
I'll buy them both. I don't care. Take my money. Those new DC omnibuses, I'll give it to DC. The printing of them is amazing. They're absolutely great. Now, but this goes to show you too, like, you gotta imagine these guys hate each other to a certain extent. It's a rivalry, obviously. These guys have been rivals forever. If they're doing this now, like, you know, I always like to say there's writing on the wall. The fact that they're doing this now, when a lot of, you know, people predicted the direct market with them would crash by like 2026. Guys, I'm saying this is a good idea. I actually think this is it's like the first W they've had in a very, very long time. Outside of like little mini things here and there. this is goes to show you even they realize, you know what? The enemy of my enemy is now my friend. Some bullshit like that. Like
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if shareholders are saying, "Dude, we gotta, our stocks are going down. We gotta make money."
Yeah.
I honestly don't understand how any of the freaking editors and people in charge of DC and Marvel haven't been hit with fiduciary lawsuits by their investors.
Because they fudged the numbers. There's been a few videos where I've watched where basically they've fudged the numbers to shareholders to the point where they don't notice it because there's so much more other things they're worried about besides comics. In fact, even in Marvel and DC, comics are like on the back burner. They're trying to sell like lunch pails, backpacks, shirts, movies, TV licensing deals. The comic stuff. Like I could be in there, I could be like, "Hey, we sold 76,000 books. You got any proof?" I mean, look at the sales number, dude. ICV2. They're like, okay. It's like I don't really gonna care at that point, because Jim Lee needs to get his fucking balls. But I'm not gonna rant. It's okay. DC Marvel, the Amalgam Age Omnibus features stories first told in 1996. That's when my youngest brother was born. Of the two superhero universes fused together into one amalgam universe. Wasn't it like the two brothers, like the one above all in both universes, like knew each other existed, so they combined the universes? So
I don't know. Is that the official lore?
Oh no, that was, I think, when that was one I read back in the day. It was like that's when Batman versus Captain America. I think it was Storm versus Wonder Woman, Thor versus, I think, Captain Marvel. I think back when it was called Captain Marvel. Green Lantern versus Silver Surfer. I remember that story. Good Lord.
And then it was Iron Lantern, right? It was Iron Man and Green Lantern mixed together.
Oh, Lord.
Something like that.
Yeah.
The result was a series of unforgettable one-shot comics starring the likes of Dark Claw, Batman and Wolverine, Super Soldier, Captain America, and Superman, Iron Lantern, Iron Man and Green Lantern, and many more. These stories from creators such as Peter David, Dan Jurgens, Mark Waid, the great genius of Mark Waid. Can't forget him, obviously. Dave Gibbons, Ron Mars, Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, Gary Frank, Bill, whatever that fucking shit is.
Sienkiewicz, right?
Sienkiewicz?
Yeah. Sienkiewicz.
Oh. Calito,
it's Eastern European.
And more represent one of the most fun and unlikely periods in comic book history, and now are available in one omnibus.
They couldn't even put Chuck Dixon's name in there.
you know why they can't. Reasons. Included in this volume are the historic DC versus Marvel miniseries and its sequels, perfect for fans of both DC and Marvel. That cover looks great. That looks awesome.
Yep.
But I remember all this stuff. If I look through like the videos I used to watch and stuff back in the day before I could afford this stuff is super fun. Honestly, yeah. Hey, sign me up. When they drop, I'll buy them. I'm getting them.
I got these when they came out.
Yeah. Okay, I definitely didn't get Dark Claw when it came out. I remember the Batman and Daredevil one, but I didn't see the one with Batman's
wait a minute,
forged with
Daredevil can't see. So if Batman's biggest thing is being in the shadows, being in the dark, Daredevil can't see. Batman could easily just clock him in 1 second, right?
Except he can see. He just uses echolocation.
Oh my God, we're not doing this again, Tiny.
Which is funny because that's what bats get. Bats use echolocation, so it's actually funnier.
I'm saying if Batman did a smoke bomb and appeared behind him and knocked him out, he couldn't see him do it, right?
Yeah, but he would know he's there. Daredevil has the heightened senses. He has the heightened
and he was trained by Stick.
I don't think on a 1-to-1 fight, Batman has any chance against Daredevil.
I'm not 100% sure who would win that, but I think it'd be pretty even.
I'm pretty sure.
But I tell you this, we would all buy that comic to find out.
Oh, I'm buying that.
And my question is, with Dark Claw, or whatever that was, the amalgamation of Batman and Wolverine, does he kill? Because Wolverine kills all the time and Batman refuses to kill. So I'm asking anyone who's read that particular one-off, does he kill?
I remember. I do not remember. I cannot ask.
I don't remember.
Maybe someone in the chat will know.
I do remember one of them.
Bruce Wayne, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I do remember one of them being Spider-Man was gonna ask to be a part of the Justice League, and Batman said no. I remember that one of them. Spider-Man versus Superman. Oh my God, I love Spider-Man, but Superman, he's mopping the floor with that dude. That's not close in any stretch whatsoever.
You know what I think a good publicity stunt would be for Marvel and DC to get together and there's the Beyonder or whatever causes these portals, and Batman swings through the portal, Spider-Man swings through, and Batman gets stranded in the Marvel universe for a year, 12 issues, and Spider-Man is stranded in DC for 12 issues. So Spider-Man's
be pretty
interacting with the
interesting.
Justice League, Batman's interacting with the Avengers, and you know,
That would be
fantastic.
pretty cool.
How-
If they did them correctly, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Sorry. Rogue Hero, join. What's up, man? How you doing, dude?
Hey, what's up, Rogue?
Pretty good in yourself. What's the conversation about?
We're just having a conversation about my sex life, how rich I am, how good looking I am. You know, the usual.
Oh, okay.
We're watching MSK hit on Tiny and Tiny reject him. It's kind of funny.
Never.
That is pretty awesome.
She messaged me and going, "Oh my god, I need your BBC because you are amazing and
for
good
real?
looking." Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
No lies told tonight.
Oh, we're
Uh-huh.
gonna expose the DMs on this channel like they do it in the mainstream. Yeah.
Oh, exposing DMs. What am I, Cyberfrog? I'm just kidding, guys. Just jokes. It's just jokes. You know. No. I know everyone. Did you guys see the Deadpool Wolverine trailer? Oh, I did a trailer reaction to it. So everyone know I saw it. But
I
thought
did,
it was
though. I have to say,
pretty
the moment they showed the TVA, I was like, I'm not sure I care about this anymore.
Oof.
I mean, I think they kind of was like already hinting that anyway because they're planning to reset the universe. Apparently, that's what everyone's talking about.
Yeah, the rumors have been time travel, so I wasn't sure exactly how they were going to do it, but yeah, it looks like they chose TVA.
I'm just saying though, things need to be reset. It's gotten so bad. Reset this. No. Retake. Everyone deserves a second chance. I'll let them get a second chance to
I mean, if they do it correctly, it could work. I got a feeling they're going to introduce that Kevin character from She-Hulk. That might ruin the movie though.
Oh, because Mark Ruffalo recently said that Kevin Feige told him it's going to be no other Hulk solo movie.
Dude,
Actually,
I hate Mark Ruffalo.
Good. Yeah. Fuck. That guy's a piece of shit. But you know how some people told me the reason, like some people think that Hulk is not popular. It's like it's not.
Hulk
This is what I've
really
always.
The real Hulk is popular. Ruffalo's not popular.
Yeah,
This is what I've always
Mark
told
Ruffalo's
people.
yeah, you said it right, Ted. Hulk is popular. Iron Man wasn't popular when the movie came out. People knew who Iron Man was, but he wasn't an A-list character.
Yeah, he was like a B-list. He was like a C-list
Well,
character.
after his years of alcoholism, a lot of people had kind of written him off.
God, Jesus
But
Christ.
if they make
That's a cool arc. If they did that correctly, that could have been awesome in the movie, but studio interference for the first time.
Great Poupon, you know, I liked Infinity War. I did not like Endgame. You know, Endgame should have been Tony Stark for 5 years is struggling with PTSD, survivor's guilt. He's an alcoholic. He's obsessed with time travel. He's got to fix everything. This is what it should have been.
Yep.
And in the meantime, he's married. His marriage is on the rocks. He's got this little girl that he loves, but he's crazy after all of these events. And then Ant-Man shows up, and that gives him the idea to do time travel. And now instead, he's happy. He's everything, and then. Oh, I'm going to invent time travel in 2 weeks. Even for a comic book movie, it just didn't work.
Yeah, it was like, I'm sorry, they showed a little tiny bit with Hawkeye and with Black Widow, but it was like no one is dealing with PTSD. No one is dealing with survivor's guilt, really. No one is going through this going, oh my God, the entire world changed. How am I even going to survive? How is the world going to survive? And this whole idea that you're just going to bring back half the fucking universe 5 years later, and it isn't going to destroy everything is insane.
Right. What they should have did was he goes back in time, redoes this battle, and now Iron Man's gonna do the snap, and all of a sudden he realizes, oh no, if I do this snap, I'm not gonna have my daughter because I'm gonna reset time to this point, you know. So I'm gonna lose my daughter, and now we set up a dilemma. It's Iron Man. Will he risk his daughter? Well, Thanos he risked his daughter. You know what I mean? So they both have parallel struggles. And then Iron Man does it. It destroys his marriage. And now we got to get with Pepper again to recreate my daughter. You know what I mean? And then it's going to be different. Maybe later on he's treating her like the daughter. But Pepper doesn't remember the daughter because time got reset. They could have had so much drama, and I thought they took the easiest, laziest way out of which was stupid.
Well, I think you're overestimating what the general population wants to see. That's for us comic nerds and nerds in general. We'll eat that shit up all day. But Gen Pop, they're fucking retarded. They don't want to watch that shit. They want to watch.
But if you give them quality
explosions.
product, if you give the general population quality product, they will like it. Remember,
No, I agree with you, but I think the
movies
studios
were hit movies until now they're just accepted because we're getting the bitter dregs of Hollywood right now.
I think the issue is there's too many people accepting the bullshit and not enough people that's willing to walk away.
Yes,
but
there's that. But I think also the
don't
original
dumb it down.
comics, one of the things that made them so great was you had these beings with amazing powers and abilities, or in Batman's case, money to build toys and shit. But they were real people. They had real issues. We could connect with them. We could understand what they were going through. You could look at freaking Iron Man from the 90s and his alcoholism and his self-hatred and his issues and his problems with what's his name, who wasn't supposed to die in that stupid cave so he could go on to become an antagonist.
Yeah.
All of that, you felt it. I'm someone who has a father who's an alcoholic. I could read that and go, yeah, I can see why his life is falling apart. I could see this. I could see the other thing. I'm sorry. Almost all these characters, yes, they had amazing powers and they did amazing things, but they were also real fucking people. The stuff that we get from the studios is not people. They're basically cliche empty shells that just do big magical things for big stupid fucking reasons or no reason.
The woke breaker. What's up, man?
Yeah,
So for me, usually when people hear things like Hulk is not getting in another solo, they're thinking like, oh, Hulk must not be popular. And it's like, no, because that was most of the comments that I had read. I was like, if you think Hulk is not popular, that's how I can tell you've only ever consumed just movies. Because people ever factor in the reason why a lot of the stuff is popular is not because of comics at all. It's actually because a lot of these characters got movies and shows. That's a big reason why
it's popular 70s TV
right?
show.
Yeah, he did. He had an anime series. He had the Ang Lee movie. He had a video game. Like a lot of the stuff that people
Agents of Smash.
Yeah, like I think the worst part of all of it is like TV, movies, and animation have seriously warped the reality of what is actually a thing, from like the source material to the actual product that you're seeing. Like it's Blade, for example. So I tried to look up Blade and his comic history and everything because I was like, okay, I'll probably start a new Blade series. I don't have any Blade books. What most people realize, Blade, when you think Blade, you think Wesley Snipes. I think that's what most people think at this point. When you think Blade, you think Wesley Snipes, those movies. No, when people think of Blade, they're not thinking of comics at all. Like ever, I think. Maybe a person or two. There's gonna be that one odd instance, right? Or even Batman Beyond. Who talks about Batman Beyond comic stories? I've never heard someone do it. There probably exists out there. I don't hear them. Static Shock.
Batman Beyond is a great comic.
Batman Beyond, great show. Comics, the word of mouth seems to be lacking on Static Shock. Same thing. Who talks about a Static Shock comic book ever?
You're talking about how the Marvel movies treat us like idiots. Now, let me ask you this, okay? So, Asgard. I just pissed off the host.
No, he does that sometimes.
Oh, okay.
I need the host.
So let me ask you this, guys. You are a denizen of Asgard. Asgard just got gutted by Thanos. You're a ragtag fugitive fleet of survivors of Asgard. Thor says he doesn't want to rule because he's got problems. Let's pick the woman who abandoned Asgard in the prehistory of time and became an alcoholic and fled battle. Let's make her the king.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Why doesn't anybody in Asgard say like, Thor, I know Thanos beat you up, but I didn't realize you have a permanent concussion.
What happened to Noblesse Oblige? What happened to you are raised as someone who is supposed to rule because it is your duty and obligation, not just because you get to have fun.
You're saying a black woman can't rule white men?
Pretty much. That's exactly what I'm saying.
No, that's what our detractors would have gotten out of. That's what the FJWs would have gotten out of your statement. That's the only thing they would have gotten out of that statement.
Yeah.
Like her leading Asgard is just stupid. It's one of those things where it's, and then they call her king.
She was a deserter and an alcoholic. But
yeah, it's worse. They call her king. They don't even call her queen.
They call her king. There was nobody else in Asgard who
she identified
as a deserter and wasn't an
alcoholic. Oh my god! Did people not see? There's this deleted Miss Marvel scene where Valkyrie is legit hitting on Miss Marvel, and Miss Marvel, the Kamala Khan one,
and it was really kind of weird and gross.
Yeah. She's like, I'm single. Oh god, it's so fucking cringe, man. Oh god, it's worse than you could ever imagine.
It was badly written. It was badly acted, and it was really disturbing to see.
You know what's messed up though? I think a lot of these. So I did mention earlier. feel like mainly it's the studios that they're catering to the normies, but I also think it's also the bad writing. Like I think the studios just don't want to hire good writers, and I think they just don't want to hire writers who actually read the comics, because the writers who do read the comics, like the guy who wrote Guardians 3 and who's been writing all the Guardian movies, and the people who wrote the Deadpool movie actually care about the source material, which is why the movies are really good. But I think the studios cheap out by hiring these bullshit writers, because they can probably hire them for the cheap, tell them to slap a story together just to sell it, because they feel like the normies could probably just watch anything, which unfortunately a lot of I think outside of the norm, I agree that if you give a normie a good story, they'll eat it up all day. But I also think a lot of us in our nerd world underestimate how much the average person just don't care about good plot like that. They'll watch it. They watch it if they go on dates. They take it with their kids. They just don't care about that type of stuff. Maybe a small percentage do, but I think the most part they don't care. So I think, and I know studios use percentages and all kind of specific type of math to say, hey, even though we're not catering to our core audience, we're still making enough profit by hiring these shitty writers to say, oh, well, it is what it is, until things blow up in your face and no one wants to watch this shit anymore because it's just boring to watch.
I think the average, movie goer, whatever TV watch, they will rise or lower to the challenge. If you put out quality content, because you're gonna watch the Twilight Zone. That was
I agree. I'm just stating that I think that's the studio's reasoning.
I think now the studios, they got comfortable, because the first I think we all could agree that the first Marvel movies were excellent. I liked Captain America. Iron Man was I thought.
I go back and say I liked it. I mean, I know it's not really MCU. I like the Spider-Man. The first X-Men movie was pretty cool.
It was flawed, but it was good, And now I think let's be realistic now. Rogue, are you married? Do you have a girlfriend, a long-term girlfriend?
I'm dating. I don't have a girlfriend. I'm not married.
Okay, so let's just create this imaginary scenario.
I have a kid though. I have an 11-year-old son.
Let's create this imaginary scenario. You meet some girl. You take her to skydiving. You wooing her. You're buying her flowers. 6 years later, it's Valentine's Day. You're yelling upstairs, "How's your cold Chinese food?" It's just the nature of human. This is what Marvel's doing right now. We would be given cold Chinese food. We're not being wooed anymore.
But also, if you go into the conspiracy side, there's also people say that they're doing it because they want to feminize society and all that shit too. But it gets really deep.
Not just not necessarily feminized, but weaken society, weaken connections, weaken balance, weaken positive reinforcements of things like duty 100%. And honor and responsibility.
No, I agree.
100%. Obligation and keeping your word and knowing what it means to stand by your principles. They don't want any of that shit out there at all.
It's crazy you say that. It's refreshing here, especially hearing it from a girl. I don't really hear that much from women, but so thank you for saying it, because that's definitely fucking true. And it's like, as a guy who's trying to live by morals and moral ethic code, just seeing how a lot of people just don't live by code, it just honestly it's gut wrenching at times. I'm like, what the fuck?
I used to get so angry. I'm not allowed to anymore. My doctors don't let me. But I used to get so angry as things were changing in the comics, because when I was younger, I loved comics. And I was wondering why I love them so much, why I love these stories. I also love like ancient mythology and all these things.
Right.
And Jung did all of this research, Carl Jung, and he said, comics are the modern mythos. Throughout all of human history, we've had myths or fables or legends that tell us how we're supposed to live our lives, that show us what heroes are, what villains are, what it means to be any of these things. And for us in the modern age, we'd gotten past Grimm's fairy tales, and we didn't have mythology the same way because we have religion, like Christianity and Judaism and Islam. We're not following major pantheons unless you're Hindu. And so we were lacking in these things, which is why comics became so popular, because they gave us these lessons again.
Yep. Modern mythology. I totally agree.
Yeah, like
and then they took these things that are supposed to give our children and our teens and even our young adults these lessons and they destroyed it. They made it so that everything they teach is evil and wrong, that good is bad and bad is good.
I learned a lot of good lessons from watching Dragon Ball Z.
Push my comic for a second. This ties in with everything. Do you see this image right here? This is the back cover to my comic. That's the superhero, the patriarch. That's his family. That's his farm. Right. This is what he comes home to every day.
And purple's my favorite color, so I like his outfit.
I thought that was an invincible character at first.
Yeah, he's the patriarch. He's got a laurel leaf on his chest, from the Roman Empire. Remember that meme? Men always think of the Roman Empire. So he's positive masculinity. He's a superhero. He's a dad. He's an EMT in his. He doesn't have a
mainstream. You said positive masculinity. They don't want that to be shown.
Right. So that's and that's his wife down there in the purple, and those 7 children are his children. They homeschool. They live out in the mountains, far away from people, and he goes off and he does his superheroics, and that's what he comes home to. I want to make a comic book that everything that Tiny was saying is the opposite. Good family. He's a good guy. There's nothing sinister about him. He's a flawed person. There's going to be problems when kids get older and they, Dad, am I a prisoner on the farm? Like, can I leave and join society? Things like that, because there are supervillains that know his identity, so he's hiding his family. I don't know. I think it's a return to good comics from when good guys were good guys.
Nice.
He
Sounds
loved
like
it.
$1 million idea. I hope it gets
I'm
released.
sorry?
It's crazy. It's because now good guys are like, hey, I'm a good guy, but I kind of smoke crack on the side and I sell crack to little kids. But I'm a good guy though. It's like, no, it's not how it
Do
works.
you identify with that character?
Yes.
And this idea that every single villain has an excuse and has a backstory that we all have to know because we have to feel bad for them and make it not care that they're actual fucking villains.
We can all relate to the villain too. We're like, damn, I kind of feel bad for him a little bit, just a little bit.
Now, there's a couple of bad guys in the first issue. They're not relatable. They're just bad.
They're just cut stone evil. No relation there. No mom died when they were 7.
Yeah, this is how mainstream book would be written. Hey, this guy just murdered like 10 people. Yeah, but his mom left him as a kid. His dad was an alcoholic. You kind of I don't relate to a guy murdering 10 people. I'm not a psychopath.
Like his parents murdered 10 people too. It's part of their alien race tradition.
Yeah, that's what
God.
And on top of
what do
everything
you guys think of Loki now as a hero? Like, Loki killed more New Yorkers than Osama bin Laden, and I'm supposed to cheer for him in his TV show?
Yeah.
I kind of.
And then it's not even our Loki. It's not even the Loki we saw go through multiple different things that could have possibly put him on the path to those things. It's a different Loki who just watched videos of that Loki do the good things and go through the trauma. And now I'm sorry, go fuck yourself. Really,
Yeah,
with a rusty fucking rake, go fuck yourself, because that's not a legit story. That's not a
What
legit
did I do to you? Why do you hate
You
me?
heard her, MSK.
She wants to rake me with a rake. Oh my God.
On top of that,
She never said she'd be involved.
DC and Marvel used to be different levels of understanding morality. Kids should be mostly DC, black and white, good and evil, right and wrong. And then Marvel was much more gray and better for teenagers and understanding that there's different gradients in life. Now they're both just shit.
Agreed. Gray is better.
That's why Japan
really
movie market is shitting on them though, because like if you see Godzilla +1, I didn't watch it, but I know it was a really good movie from what everyone's saying. The fucking Mario movie did numbers. The Sonic movie are doing numbers. So like everything that's like almost Japanese titles is doing better than American right now because they actually stick to the lore and respect their characters
and believe in right and wrong.
What I was gonna bring up here is, oh my God, in WandaVision at the end of the show. Oh my God! So Wanda straight up enslaves people, right? Because she's heartbroken through all her tragedies throughout the MCU. Brother, Vision, everyone's dying in front of her, obviously. Then Tiana Paris, that dirty, stinking ape. Oh my God! Ask her, hey, they'll never know what you sacrificed for them. She enslaved them for months.
And not just that, they were aware of it and they were in pain. It's not like they were in a coma or asleep.
I just got a memory of that dude's tear coming down his eye because he couldn't move. Like, oh.
I mean,
yeah, but she was a good mother, though.
Yeah.
Now it's just us.
I didn't understand how powerful she was in the beginning. Like, she knew she could do this and she could do that, but she didn't realize how far her powers could go. So if you want to she didn't recognize it, and she was just so overwhelmed that her power went out and unleashed. I can accept all that. But the minute things started to seem fucked up, and or especially when that dude says, let me die, she doesn't immediately go, oh my God, what have I done? And change immediately is just,
And not only that, they have access to the Infinity Machine, the time machine that they created. It has infinite infinite fuel because we already established that the villain from the Ant-Man movie could make pin particles, and he was a moron. And Dr. Banner could pinpoint accurate. So they can't find a multiverse where those two kids don't have a Scarlet Witch, and then take those kids over here, and then that's the problem with this time machine. Is it's the consequence? Any consequences in the Marvel universe is because Dr. Banner lets it happen. He's God now. He could generate Infinity Stones. He can, he could generate Thanos's. Why not pull a Black Widow from a universe where she's just about to get hit in the face with a bullet? Pull her over here. She's alive over here. She was going to be dead in that universe. You know what I mean? Oh, because I feel like having a tuna fish sandwich instead. There's really no consequences to the Marvel universe anymore. And if there's no consequences, why do I want to watch it?
How would you guys like the Deadpool and Wolverine movie? Let's say you have to give Marvel the benefit of the doubt and actually make it good. How would you guys like for them to reset the MCU? Me personally, I think they should just take a comedy route, admit they effed up, have Deadpool roast them, have him break into the Kevin room, kill Kevin, and just reboot the entire franchise with the X-Men.
I hate reboots. Just, you know what? It is what it is. Just make quality writing from now on.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like nothing. How many times did Marvel Comics? There was bad periods of Avengers. We survived. There's bad periods of Fantastic Four. We survived.
DC's kind of just always had bad periods, but there's been some light at the end of the tunnel at some point.
DC was good up into the movies. Let's stop it. Don't play with DC.
I stopped with DC after New 52, though. I will say that I really did enjoy Aquaman 1 from New 52, where he goes into the restaurant, the seafood restaurant. And
he was shirtless, right?
And some kid in the next stall, booth goes, "What's it like to be the biggest joke in the Justice League?"
What the fuck?
Said it straight to his face, and then someone else looks at him and goes, "How can you eat fish? You talk to fish." And he fucking just loses it. He goes, "I don't talk to fish. I talk to dolphins. I tell fish what to do." And he's so angry, and he leaves a gold coin and just stomps out of the restaurant. That was so great on every single level.
I tell you, I saw Man of Steel, and that was the last DC movie I saw because they fundamentally got Superman wrong. So if Superman,
I never really cared for
you know what's even the worst part about that is people actually. Oh, so I don't mind if people have starting points. When everyone has a starting point, right? So people said with that movie, I didn't really care for Superman before, but I liked Man of Steel, and it got me into liking the character. I don't have a problem with that. Everyone has a starting point, but the problem is that should not be someone's real starting point to Superman. That's gonna fuck your mindset on who the character actually is.
Because that's not Superman. There was no Clark Kent in that fucking movie.
Like I have everyone starts somewhere like that. That's fine. That is how, and I don't mind people getting in. But the fact that has to be someone's first Superman movie is disgusting. That movie is.
How do you guys feel about? No, this is off topic, but how do you guys feel about movies doing what they used to do back in the day, where they make a show first, make it really good with the writing to give you the backstory, and then turn it into a movie?
That would be awesome, man. Like, I love the way they do that with anime. Like, I don't know. I think they could do that really amazingly.
I think that'd be good for like Batman and Superman, where their stories are so complex. So instead of trying to cram everything in one movie, give us a series about the Man of Steel, however they want to release it, and then make it into a movie. But take their time.
Like Batman the Animated Series very specifically tried to tie into the Tim Burton films to some degree.
Okay.
Like, he wanted to keep a little bit of crossover. So if you really enjoyed those big films, here's all the day-to-day shit that Batman's doing. And the character and how those villains became his rogues gallery and all that. I mean, Batman the Animated Series is still considered by some people to be the quintessential Batman.
Oh yeah, that's what I grew up on. That
wasn't Batman in those movies. They fundamentally got Batman. Batman doesn't drive into a factory and drop a bomb and kill everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm just saying, I watched those Tim Burton movies. I watched them more than they're not good at all.
They're not.
The first one is like okay. The second one is not. That second one is
you
bad.
Remember those McDonald's cups that you used to get from McDonald's? Those were epic though. I meant those. I had a few.
I don't mind the Tim Burton ones. I don't think of them as like quintessential Batman, but I could think of them as kind of fun. I especially really like Catwoman from there, but
yeah, she was good
though too.
But I mean, I also really like the Catwoman from BTAS, which was she was a cat burglar who was also a she didn't just steal stuff to steal stuff. She stole stuff so that she could pay for her big cat sanctuaries. I thought that was kind of cool. Like, she had a real reason to do it.
They made her like a Robin Hood character.
A giant.
A little bit.
Sorry. giant diesel truck just passed. I just go back and watch Batman for it's just the second one. I think it was called Batman Forever by Tim. That movie is awful. It's bad. It's really bad. It's
that's
not
a lot of '90s comic movies though. The only good one was really Blade. And I think that's early 2000s.
Like I didn't mind the first one. Jack Nicholson pretty much carries the first one pretty hard, but these other ones were bad. I'm sorry.
I thought Jack Nicholson just he did the obvious acting choices through the whole movie. I remember going to the movies and I remember turning around to my friend Phil and I just said that was bat cheese. You know,
yes.
In the I did not like it, and I know I'm in the minority. What I did like about it, because I again, get off my lawn. I'm an old man. Before that, Batman was taken as a joke. I remember at work saying, "Oh man, there's gonna be a Batman movie, and it's gonna be, taken seriously." Like, Batman, Biff, pow, wow, So that movie is responsible for making Batman serious again. So but it wasn't Batman. Batman doesn't wear armor and bullets bounce off his chest. Batman doesn't have machine guns pop out of the Batgun car and mow people down. He doesn't drop a bomb. His car turns into armor, blows up the factory. You might as well make a Punisher movie. That, it wasn't Batman. Batman doesn't allow himself to get hit by bullets. Batman's, you got the gun like this, and all of a sudden an arm comes behind you and boom, 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 you shoot in the air as you're getting choked out. That's Batman.
Did you enjoy the recent Batman movie, the one that was like a little more darker?
Which one?
The one, I forgot the actor's one.
Oh, yeah, that's the closest to Batman.
Oh, Batman.
That one took it from his original comics, which are like detective noir sort of vibe. But
I liked it. I just didn't like the Bruce Wayne though. He seemed more too emo.
Bruce Wayne was bad. His Bruce Wayne was actually terrible. I like him as Batman is fine.
He had no charisma whatsoever. He was just like
very few actors seem to be able to understand that you have to play Bruce Wayne and Batman as two different people.
Yes.
Bruce Wayne is
Bruce Wayne is an actor.
Like I thought Batman Begins did that relatively well, at least a little bit, like with him coming back and acting like a playboy who doesn't care, who's just given up on anything serious, the girls in the pool and this stuff going on, and his expensive cars, and then the Batman who's actually a very serious person. Like that was the closest I think I'd ever seen in a live action of seeing that Batman and Bruce are two different people. You have to
Batman's got to make it so that nobody would even in a million. If anybody suggested that Bruce Wayne was Batman, people are like, "What, are you kidding me?"
They've said it in the comics. They're like, who could be rich enough to do these things? Like Bruce Wayne, and everyone laughs at them like the playboy. Yeah. Really? Yeah. Like, I mean, the whole point is he's supposed to be seen as this dilettante.
Exactly.
And almost no one ever plays him as a dilettante, or if they do, then his Batman isn't nearly as dark or as serious or as scary. And it's like,
that's what I said, Tiny, you should be writing your own comics. You got good instincts.
She definitely does.
Except
I know you keep hearing that.
It already exists.
You should hear that.
So I did want to make a comic called Petite Girl, which was all about a girl in a wheelchair who sneaks up on bad guys because they don't think she's dangerous, and she drains all their energy.
I'll also say Christian Bale and Kevin Conroy did Batman the best. I'll say,
yes.
Like Christian Bale's actual Bruce Wayne persona is amazing. It's actually just great.
Teeny, what was the name of the character in the wheelchair that you said?
Fatigue Girl, because I've got multiple conditions, but one of them is I have severe fatigue. My body doesn't make enough energy. Okay. So I was gonna have a girl who in a wheelchair who everyone just thinks is just a random person and they're not worried about her at all. She's not dangerous. She's a little girl in a wheelchair. And then you roll up and you touch them and you just drain all of the energy out of them. They just crumble.
Well, you know,
that sounds like Rogue,
last night we were talking about
a little bit like Rogue, but she doesn't actually get there. Like Rogue absorbs other people's life force and other people's powers. This girl, she never actually gets better. She doesn't get better from taking their energy. She just steals it so that they can't be bad guys.
You know what's coming out, people? Madam Web. Now, I will say this.
Oh God, do not.
That movie. No, that's not Madam Web.
I'm just saying.
Madam Web is going to be old, in a wheelchair, and blind and deaf. That's not Madam Web.
Yeah, listen, she's an old woman with a.
Well, this is the prequel. She could get older.
Actress from the first Spider-Man movie would be Madam Web. That would have been perfect.
I'll say this. You know how people are always like, there's no superhero fatigue, they're just bad. No. When people specifically mean superhero fatigue, they're talking about just superhero movies, okay? Now, I don't know how that blends it because like it's like the same thing the comic book industry does. Do you know how like when they do the sales numbers for the end of the year, they're like, oh, we're selling this much stuff. No, that's manga that's selling all that. It's not you. Yeah, that's what people do for like the superhero movies. It's like when specifically means superhero fatigue, I don't care about bad movie fatigue. Superhero fatigue is obviously it'd be one of the same.
You want to make good gangster movies? I'll watch them. You want to make good cowboy movies? I'll watch it. You know why the westerns died? Because they started making shit westerns.
Yep.
You know why they don't make gangster movies right now? Because they started making shit gangster movies. You remember all of those in the hood rap movies? They started making shit ones. If they were making good movies, we'd be going. I don't know about you guys. I love going to the movies. My wife and I, we make a day of it. We go to the movies. We get some popcorn. We go out to dinner. We talk about the movie.
You know what they did? They make them too political, I think. Especially with like the hood. Especially with the hood ones, like back in the day, at least like from the ones from the 90s, they were more realistic with shit that I live in the hood, so it's like stuff that you will see. Nowadays it's more of like fighting the police, and it's more just bullshit that I don't want to see. That's not realistic. It's just more like I don't even like hood movies like that to begin with. I've watched too many of them growing up, but like the ones that come out recently just cringeworthy, honestly.
Well, you notice there's no sci-fi movies anymore. We because they made shit sci-fi movies.
They're all on Netflix now.
I think I would say Cocaine Bear was a sci-fi movie. That movie
was Lord.
No, that one is just a badass movie. Do you think comic movies are on the way out then?
Counts as horror.
They are on the way out because they're making shit comic movies. But if they were making good ones, it would last another.
Okay, so the reason why I'm bringing up Madam Web, and the reason why I'm saying that
because it's a cool concept.
So there's 10 highest watched movie trailers of all time. 10, okay? How many do you think is dominated by the MCU?
Good question.
What's your guess?
I'm guessing at least 2, but I don't know.
Okay, 2. All right, John.
7.
What do you, 7? Okay, Rogue. What do you think?
What was the question again? I'm sorry, I kind of spaced out.
There's 10 most highest viewed trailers of all time. How many of them do you think are the MCU's?
10.
You got close. There's 8. The MCU has 8 of the highest viewed trailers ever. The only other 2 are It Chapter 1. Oh, sorry, 7. Sorry, there's It Chapter 1, The Lion King, and Transformers: Rise of the Beast. Yeah, 7. So you guys are close. So Marvel's. So you have Deadpool. So you said Deadpool 3.
yeah, close.
Those are movies. You said shows.
No, I said movies.
You said shows.
No, I said
he likes me on vacation.
No, I said which movie company has the highest trailers, right? So what I'm trying to say is Marvel specifically has a huge impact on how people see superhero movies. They just do. Based off the trailer numbers, Deadpool, No Way Home, Endgame, Infinity War, Love and Thunder, Infinity War.
Well, I think it's because they're living off Stan Lee's material. It just goes to show how popular the Marvel comics in general were, because Marvel was the shit growing up. Everyone knows that. And the Avengers have gotten more popular over the years. And also Spider-Man is a really popular character. I guarantee you if the MCU or MCU rather dropped a good X-Men trailer with Sentinels in it, highest viewed trailer.
Oh,
it's been viral all week.
Yeah. So what I'm bringing through to people,
and let's take the woke out too.
So what I'm bringing through to people is like there is superhero fatigue because Marvel themselves caused it. Enough bad movies, along with DC and Sony, will cause that. Which superhero movie have people really been hyped for outside of like the big ones right there of Infinity War, Civil War, No Way Home, Deadpool 3? I mean, there have been literally a string of bad movies. Let's start with Marvel. Phase 4, Black Widow, not good. Shang-Chi.
You know what it is? Okay. I got something to say about that one.
Eternals. Bad. Straight literal shit. No Way Home. I like No Way Home. I thought it was pretty good. Doctor Strange 2, not good. No, Thor: Love and Thunder, not good. Who went and saw Black Panther 2?
I saw it. It was okay, but
I saw what they were going to do to Namor, and I got so angry. I said
Ant-Man 3.
I'm sorry. Could you imagine that version of Namor ever taking Sue away from freaking Richards? I don't think so. I don't freaking think so.
You know what I think it is, though? I think Marvel's trying too hard to make these B-list characters and the A-list characters. Like they did it with Iron Man, and they did it with the Guardians, but like you can't take every fucking B-list character.
Yeah, it's not gonna work. Yeah.
They could have made Namor. You telling me if they didn't get Johnny Depp to play Namor and
Oh God! Oh God!
get him ripped, come out of the water, start knocking down buildings, have Monstro behind him, you know what I mean? Every girl in the world would have went to go see that movie and drag their boyfriend, and you know what I mean? That would have been awesome. Imperious Rex, especially during that trial. Oh my God, everybody, you know.
But it just goes to show you how much of an impact the MCU actually has on people's minds when it comes to superhero movies. And DC doesn't help either. What does DC put out that people actually care for besides the Batman? Like Black Adam,
DC just
The
winging
Flash.
it. They're winging it, bro.
I didn't hate Black Adam. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate
didn't
Black
see it.
Adam. I thought it had some interesting points, sort of.
Like
It wasn't nearly as bad as the other shit I was
my idea of Johnny Depp as Namor.
like in 10 years, are we about to really be like, man, that was some
The thing
secret
about the
masterpiece right there,
The thing about the DC movies, they have good movies like Joker, Batman, and I guess Black Adam. I didn't watch Black Adam, but
I did.
That was good as well. But it's like you have nothing to look forward to. They're all like self-contained movies.
Yeah, but this is stuff, nothing gets you excited. Nothing you're sitting here going like, this is like, I gotta watch this instantly.
Can you imagine the reaction if what was it? What movie was it that they had I don't know. Let's just say the Black Panther, not Black Panther 2, because that already had Namor, but No Way Home. After credit season, they said there's you show Shuri sitting there going, oh, there's an earthquake coming. There's a tidal wave coming. We got to do something. They get these Wakandan ships out. They throw up force fields. The force fields get knocked down, and then the wave settles, and it's Johnny Depp with that freaking trident, and he just let's go, and then boom. Then you got to wait 2 years for the freaking movie. They don't even announce it. That's how the world finds out. People would have went, and then instead they got this. That wasn't Namor. I didn't see the movie. Make a new character. If that,
exactly. Just make up a new name. If you refuse to give us the character the way they're supposed to be, just make up a new name.
Didn't they change his powers?
Atlantis was supposed to be. They worship Poseidon. Namor is Roman backwards. He says Imperious Rex. The Atlanteans speak Latin. They were inspired by Rome. Embrace it. If you're embarrassed by it, if you need to change it, then get something else. Right now, they're remaking Avatar: The Last Airbender into a TV show.
Yeah.
There's no war in Ba Sing Se. The girl who becomes the leader of the Fire Nations, it has a bow and arrow. Why does a girl who shoots lightning need a bow and arrow? Sokka isn't overprotective of his sister.
Katara and So Sokka no longer has a character arc. He no longer goes from being someone.
They had to take away the toxic parts of his
What's
personality.
his name? Isn't Zuko my favorite character? Oh my God, do I love Zuko? He's not,
and he's not going to get burned by. He's not going to get burned by Ozai because we don't think a father hurting his son is appropriate.
Well, plus,
People out
do
there
you
that have been
want
beaten
to
by the
do
goddamn parents? How about all the people out there who saw something in freaking Zuko that made them say, "Yes, I can get past what my parents did to me."
Right. Zuko,
I never watched Avatar, but
I love Zuko.
That sounds frustrating.
So it's something else I won't be watching. And I'll tell you this: the Fantastic Four is my favorite comic book of all time. I don't think I have no faith that this movie is going to be any good.
Me neither.
None whatsoever.
That's kind of like
that cartoon was pretty decent too.
Charlie Green. What's up, man? Yeah, that's why when people say there's no superhero movie fatigue, I have to really sit there and question there is. People are not interested in the same way because there's been enough bad, so much bad to the point where it's like no one. Madam Web is gonna come out and they have predicted it's gonna bomb worse than Morbius. Yeah, and people are gonna tell me to my face there's no super movie fatigue. Someone's really going to try to make the argument.
But you just admitted it. It isn't superhero fatigue. It's bad superhero fatigue.
Yeah.
I agree with Tiny.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, people are going to try and actually gaslight us to believe there's not superhero movie fatigue, but this movie's about to bomb worse than an actual shitty superhero movie.
But you know why they have to make these shitty movies though on Sony, right? MSK.
What happened?
You know why they have to make these shitty movies at Sony, right? Because they have to have the contract.
They got to keep the Spider-Man rights. Yeah.
Spider-Man. So they hire fucking MSK off the corner or fucking off whatever road in California.
Oh no, 7-Eleven gaslighters are getting. Dude, the person that wrote Madam Web, the credits they have is Dracula Untold, Power Rangers 2017, and some fucking Prince of Egypt, or I think some bullshit like that.
I'm sure they fucked it up. I'm sure it's not good, but man, it's a
What?
cool concept. Like superhero meets, like Final Destination. That could be awesome. I don't think they did it well, but
No, it could
we'll
be
see.
good. It's just that this is not the Madam Web that the majority of the fans know.
Maybe
Maybe
it's not the Madam Web you're looking for.
I'm not the biggest comic reader. I'll admit that. Was Madam Web ever young in the comics? Out of curiosity, or no?
Probably
It-
some fucked universe.
Someone said she's.
I want to say they might have had a flashback, but not that I can remember.
Okay.
Madam Web debuted in 1977 in a Hostess Twinkies ad, and she was a young, sexy woman kneeling in front of Spider-Man, right in front of his crotch. It was really,
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Oh, well, my bad.
and then they did. She
So
actually
she was
debuted
his
in
whore.
Spider-Man
Okay.
comic, in Spider-Man cartoon with
Yep.
because they made the character for Stan Lee's wife Joan to voice, so that's why they
Okay.
made her old.
Because I remember I know her from the cartoon, so that's my
Yeah, that was
Might
her
be
origin.
working
She
for her.
showed up like Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn was in
Yep.
the cartoons first, and then
Yep.
then the comics.
okay.
But supposedly someone said,
Okay,
like,
so
I
I'll
haven't,
show you guys
I have
this really
refused to
quick.
pick up Marvel for the last 10 years or so. So someone said that supposedly in the more recent Marvel comics that she's young again for some reason. I don't.
Yeah, the
know.
Madam Web that I remember, blind, can travel the multiverse. That was in
Yep.
also several
That
video games. Too.
started
That's
the
the one
whole-
that I
that
remember.
really
Obviously.
popularized the fucking whole multiverse thing. That Spider-Man that arc was epic.
Yep.
So this superhero movies are what people are bringing up. They themselves are bad. It's not that. Yeah, they. It's a movie, but it's also a superhero movie that's bad, right? I think it's interchangeable, but I think due to them, a lot of them being bad have caused people to be fatigued because no one
Right.
cares as much as they used to. You
They're
know,
just fatigued of bad shit. If you put out good superhero shit, people will watch it.
Yeah, like
Will
Guardians
this-
3 was really good. I enjoyed that movie.
will
a
this
lot.
sell Madam Web tickets?
Nope.
It'll sell the porno.
She's
Uh,
attractive. She's good looking.
It's
I'm-
very
I'm-
attractive.
I'm sorry. She is so skinny. She looks creepy to me.
Tiny, stop hating.
Tiny's
Yeah.
like a thick woman.
and what's her name? Sydney Sweeney. In an
Oh,
outfit?
that's her co-host. God, she is so pretty. Oh my god, her tits are like huge. Oh my god.
MSK
Madam
control.
What did I do? Madam Web. Oh, because people said the reviews came in.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
they-
I don't even want to.
trashed.
They are so
Yeah, a lot
bad.
of
They
them
are
have,
so
but-
bad. It's at, I think earlier tonight it was at
Ugh.
17% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Like,
Well-
how do you have a Spider-Man movie with no Spider-Man?
Well,
Like,
We've been saying that for years.
studios.
What's the credit?
MSK, was Morbius really that bad? I want to get high one day.
It's terrible. Garbage. That movie
I
stinks.
didn't
I'd
see-
rather
I
take a
didn't see it
shit.
'cause I
That'd
like
be
the
I
more
don't know.
More
That one's
entertaining.
meme worthy though. Like, there's
I'm
so many
surprised.
memes that came off of that. Like,
I can name you
Well,
three
it's
other
got redeeming
things.
factors.
I can
I
name
like
you
I
three
like the
other
Morbius
things.
from the cartoons, so I didn't see the movie. But where the hell's Felicia?
Like,
You were bringing all these fucking grade B people. Where the fuck is Black Cat? Where's
I
my
just don't-
Felicia?
how do you make a movie about a villain when not the actual hero that the villain was based off of? That makes no
Dude,
sense.
that's
to
why.
me.
That's why I said a long time ago. The universe is stupid because it starts off with Venom. Venom literally comes from Spider-Man. They
I
just,
thought that was dumb. Even though the Venom movie was good, reviewed good, I always thought it was dumb to have a Venom movie with no Spider-Man. That is the dumbest
What?
shit in the world.
And,
Madam-
and the Craven movie. Craven is an animal rights activist, so that's not Craven.
Is he
Madam Web.
Look,
I'm
Is
just
it
waiting for
animals'
Craven
rights,
to come
Agnes?
out streaming so that I can
Animal
watch it
rights?
on mute.
Animal
Because-
rights are humans' rights.
Well,
Sydney Sweeney is pretty
you
correct.
know what Sony should have probably did with the Venom? They should have just They should have just casted a new Spider-Man to fight Venom.
I'm just being honest. Like, I'd rather take a shit outside in front of people with my butt cheeks out than watch Morbius ever again. The movie is awful. It's
It
legitimately
can't be that
bad.
bad. It can't be that bad.
It's
Whoa.
awful.
if you do that, when people look at you, you got to give them a thumbs up while you're shitting and say it's Morbin time.
It's more than time.
Oh God.
Have you
It's
noticed
not
how
good.
movie
I'm
studios
sorry.
release bad movies in February? So when you know a movie's being released in February, go look at all February releases. This is what studios dump their. If they had any faith in it, it would be a Christmas movie or a summer movie. February movies are garbage.
I think most Christmas movie recently have been trash too.
All movies
Yeah.
lately. What was the last
Yeah.
good movie you saw in the movies?
Bullet
Fuck.
Train, probably. Actually, no, Mike.
Mario
I saw
Brothers.
a cartoon movie with my son called Migration. It was epic. The movie was pretty
What was
good.
it called?
Migration.
I never heard of it.
It was like
Is
these
that
ducks-
South African movie?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
the
it's like
duck
these
one with
ducks
Aquafina.
migrating. It's about these ducks migrating to like Jamaica for like the summer. It was really good. I think it was made by DreamWorks. It was a pretty good movie. It was a good kid movie at least.
Teeny, what was the last good movie you saw in the movies?
Super Mario.
That
Okay,
was good too.
Great Poupon.
Right.
What about you? What was the last movie?
Sadly, it's like a Christmas one. It was The Holdovers, but that one I expected to be like some sappy Christmas movie. It was awesome. It seems like it's straight out of the 70s. Like everything audio visual is just exactly out of the 70s. It just feels like a forgotten gem. Like I don't know. That one was awesome. Other than that, The Iron Claw. But it's been a while if we're going comic book ones.
Comic book ones. Last one I saw.
What about you?
Comic book were just regular movies.
Anything. What was the last good movie you saw in a movie theater?
Probably last year when I watched Across the Spider-Verse. It's probably the last one.
Okay.
I saw a lot of things last year. That was
So my point being is,
I like the John
not
Wick
superhero
4.
fatigue. It's bad. We all have fatigue. Well, nobody's going to the movies to see anything.
last thing
how
I
many-
saw last year was The Creator. That was the last thing I saw last year.
I heard that was pretty good, right?
It
It
was-
had
it
a
was-
bunch of potential. Like it
It
could have
was a
been so much
movie.
better, but it was fun ideas. But that is a sci-fi one that they at least tried on.
It is true.
What was it about?
It's a movie.
Artificial intelligence.
Okay.
It has a whole bunch of themes, but essentially it's like humans versus the AI robots in an alternate reality. But
I
it
might
plays a
go-
lot on a bunch of different metaphors or whatever. But
Like,
it could have been better. There's
The last sci-fi movie
Yeah.
I ever watched in theaters was Ex Machina. That was pretty good.
it actually plays on a lot of the same themes, but not as well. So I don't know.
Okay.
It's different.
Okay. I can't wait till Madam Web bombs because we're gonna have so many memes. I have to make my Madam Web video starting tonight and tomorrow to get them out before the movie drops on Thursday.
Wait, you got to do a video before it drops, before you actually
Yep.
watch it? Okay.
Deadpool and Morbius. I love the memes already. Nothing will beat its greatest battle in the history of modern cinema. There we
Hey,
go.
man.
I love it.
Matt Smith has some fun scenes in that movie, and there's just so many memes that came out of it. I don't know. There's some redeeming value. I don't think Madam Web's going to have that, but we'll see.
Oh, we were
God.
talking about old Agatha Harkins is a 900-year-old lady, and she looks like Aunt May in the comics, and now she's young, in the-
Middle aged, whatever.
I don't want to say
She's a
attractive
cool-
because
she's a
Catherine
cool
Hahn
aunt.
is not attractive.
Yeah, it's just the superhero movies have not been good for a while. I mean, I doubt Madam Web's changing that anytime soon. I'll say.
Yeah.
I mean, we also
even if Madam Web is good, no one cares about Madam Web enough to go watch her movie again. And if people watch it, no one's gonna want to watch a sequel. No one cares.
So do you know how people have to do like the assigned seating for theaters to get a chair in a movie? People have been showing pictures for the Madam Web. Bro, there's like 2 seats taken. You about to be in there alone
There's a lot of
with your
people showing
wife.
pictures of fully empty theaters all the time, all over.
I
Oh, shit.
there's no bad characters. It's just bad writing. Like, remember, nobody
Yeah.
knew who Luke Skywalker was before Star Wars came out.
Yep.
You know,
That's true.
But Star Wars was its own self-contained entity, though. Madam Web is a character we know, and we know this is not Madam Web.
right, but you could take Madam Web, and you can with quality writing, quality.
Oh, I agree with that statement.
They can make an excellent movie.
Give us old lady Madam Web with Peter Parker. I'll eat that shit up all day.
You know,
Oh, you
like,
can look at it recently. Sonic movies. The Sonic movies hit with people because they're genuinely
I'm
pretty
excited
good.
for Sonic 3. They're gonna actually
Yes,
use
they
video
are.
game music in the movie.
I don't
Yeah.
believe that when they're like, oh well, it's an unknown character. John Wick was an unknown character.
Yep.
3 days before John Wick opened up, nobody knew who this character was. And that was a freaking great movie. Everybody likes John Wick. Getting tired of it. I thought number 4 was a little. I was like,
I've never watched the movie.
watch
But I
that
think they're good.
movie.
They're
What's
pretty
that?
good. My favorite one are
Never
my
watched it.
favorite. I haven't seen 4. I've seen the other 3. My 1 is the best. 2 is pretty good. 3, it's not as bad. It has this stupid part with Halle Berry, but other than that, it's fine. They're generally fine movies. I can see why a lot of people like them. The stunts and the action scenes are whoo, good lord, good lord.
Well,
So
that's what
good.
happens when you give a stunt director the chance to direct.
It's true.
So I don't think there are bad characters. You could take any character and make it an interesting, compelling movie with talent, dedication. It could still bomb. Like there's movies that I think were bombed, like Dark City. that was a great movie. Nobody ever saw it.
Didn't
you know,
technically Watchmen bomb by movie standards? You know,
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was kind of popular. I mean, like it
Had a
gave him
major
more of
break
that. But
even?
Dark City,
Yeah.
man, that is an amazing movie that like nobody references. I love that thing.
Dark City
Totally got
it's
overshadowed.
the Matrix before the Matrix.
Yeah, good Kiefer.
You got a great voice, Great Poupon. You should be doing radio or voice,
Oh,
You don't
thank
get
you.
that radio voice.
right?
yeah, I
got
pay
a
him
radio
good money.
You're doing a podcast or some shit. Do a podcast at least.
Hell yeah. Thank you guys.
He's
Well,
got the
thank-
voice for radio. I got the face for radio.
That's
Oh, I don't think so.
you know. Oh Lord, Tiny, and what you know what you have?
Hmm.
Me as your Valentine. See, that's how you tie that in, right?
Oh, there we go. This
There
is
you go.
all
Only
live
if she gets
setup.
really desperate, though.
Oh God, oh Lord, you know. But no,
That's the
I don't
swag.
know.
Nobody likes a simp. Okay.
I've never sent for women. I never have. Women always
You
feel
gotta,
themselves
you
at
gotta
me.
be like, Tiny, you can't get with this. You can't get with this.
She's gonna be like, "Yep, I sure can't."
Yeah, except growing up, the majority of my friends have always been guys, so I find all pickup lines to be hysterical.
Oh, good Lord.
I've never used the pickup line. I never just. I was never that type of guy that could just walk up to a girl like, "Hey, baby," what do they call that? Riz?
I can't do
What
that
do you
either.
do?
Yeah.
Riz.
Well, I think
I
pickup
just
line.
showed them my comic book collection, and they either ran or they were interested.
Yep,
I would have been
Thank you.
interested.
you'd have had her sold. She'd be like, "Oh my god, let me read this."
Let me.
Yeah, yeah, down.
In my defense, she couldn't run screaming. She could just scream, but she can't run.
Oh my goodness.
That's
Oh
true.
my God. You know, hey, you can't show girls how big it is. You can show them how big your books are. Bigger is better. From what I said, he's got omnibuses too. Just saying, those are pretty big. Man, I don't know. Fuck. We're gonna be at a point where I'm gonna be at movie theaters, bending over, taking it in the ass by DC if they don't put out a good movie. Actually, you know.
Gonna be?
That's how you get the girls there, Master Sway.
Hey man, Marvel drives a hard bargain, man. Fucking Deadpool 3 and
I
Craven
think a lot is riding on Deadpool 3. If
Yeah,
Deadpool
it
3
is. I
bombs,
can
I
agree
think
with
this is the death
If
knell.
they fuck up Deadpool and he's my favorite character, I'm done with Marvel movies.
If
I'm
they-
never watching another movie
If this
again.
movie bombs, I bet you they're going to cancel the Fantastic Four movie.
probably.
My problem is this movie. What if this movie doesn't bomb because Ryan Reynolds made it very clear that he would walk if they tried to screw with him at all and screw with the script at
I
all.
can respect that. I can respect that.
So
yeah.
I think this is going to be really good, but I don't think it's going to change anything at Marvel. And I think that
Yeah,
Fantastic Four is still going to be
that-
awful.
That's
And I
the
think
problem.
Craven's going to be only worth watching on mute because
So you're
That's the
not
issue.
excited for
It's like-
Young Avengers?
You know how everyone's been bringing up that it's going to save
Younger
Marvel? The
Avengers.
problem here, Deadpool 3 only saves Marvel in the short term. Do you know what's coming out for them after Deadpool 3? Captain America 4 with Sam Wilson
Oh,
Without Captain
Thunderbolt.
America,
and Blade and Fantastic Four with Pedro Pascal as your Reed Richards.
no.
is he really the Reed Richards?
Yes, yeah, he's
That's
Reed
a rumor.
Richards. Pedro
Oh,
Pascal
it's
is Reed
confirmed
Richards.
now. It's confirmed.
Yeah,
yeah, they
mhm, he's Reed
confirmed that
Richards.
Yeah.
shit.
We have a
They
Hispanic Reed
confirmed
Richards. Let's go.
So did that excite people?
I feel
Captain
like the
America
bad
4?
girlfriend. I'm never going to get what just one more good Fantastic Four me. I'll be good.
So you know what they should have did, considering everything. Like I don't care about the race. I don't like race swaps in comic characters, but
I don't
let's
like
just say,
this.
considering they already did a black Kang, Reed Richards should have just been black to at least keep the continuity of the story.
Yeah.
Because they were
How
supposed to
the hell
relate it.
how the hell is Kang a Richards if yeah, I don't know.
We shouldn't have a Hispanic looking Reed Richards. I'm sorry, that don't make sense to me.
You know who should have been Reed Richards? John Hamm.
He'd have been an interesting Reed
That
Richards.
is
John
interesting.
Hamm, and it should have been set in 1962. They go to space, and then they get the thing. They land in Latvia. Because Latvia is like a North Korea. Doctor Doom fights him and stuff like that. And then they get back in the ship and they come into the United States. They whatever, Galactus is coming, and then next thing you know, they come back to Earth and it's modern times because they went faster than light. There you go. I wrote your Fantastic Four movie. It started in the 60s, and that's why
Marvel,
they
the
that's
one
why they-
Marvel writer watching it's like, Right,
And,
hey,
and
right
that,
there,
and that
Trevor,
would
run it
actually
back.
that would actually give an explanation why the fucking Fantastic Four haven't been here for all of the
Right.
fucking Marvel movies that we've had. Where were they? Well, they were.
You know, they were the first superheroes, but you know, who remembers 1962? They went up, you know, and they came back, and it has real science in it. They went faster than the speed, so they can actually have a second movie dealing with Galactus and Silver Surfer, and then they come back, and it's you know 19.
Oh yeah, Woke Breaker. Sorry,
That'd be
that's the
awesome,
next
man.
TV. So your TV shows are like Agatha and Ironheart, bruh.
Yeah.
Watch
Woo.
Elle.
Hey,
no,
Young
no.
Avengers is in the far future,
Bruh.
but one
Oh,
day.
when Young Avengers Hope comes out, I hope there's a lot of gay kissing.
I hope. Can't. That's what I go to my super movies for. Gay people kissing. Can't wait. Quality writing.
Gay,
There's no way.
Gay
There's no way.
Avengers
There's
are-
no way they could do Young
Gay
Avengers well
teenage
because
sex
there's
scene.
no way they're going to make a child.
just Kamala. What's her name? Kamala
They
Khan.
shouldn't even fight anybody.
Hawkeye,
They could just be
Just
making
eating
out
each
for
other
2
out. Just start the movie out with Kamala Khan and Hawk Girl just eating each other out. Start it out like that. Make them just come right when the movie starts. Because we're just here. Hey, Rogue, don't you like Batman? Well, he sucks cock now. Don't you like Tim Drake? He just sucks cock. He just takes dick in his ass. That
Yeah.
doesn't that excite you?
Bro, it's like
He
South
does
Park.
more than that. but-
turn them gay. Make it gay
There's
away.
no way that they will. There's no way that they will make a legitimate, accurate Young Avengers because they will not take the child of Storm and T'Challa, which can't exist because like, they have T'Challa dead now, but the child of Storm and T'Challa, and give him all of this the psychological issues that kid actually had.
Oh God.
They would never do that. They would. He would
Yeah.
Be, he would be
No,
the
it's-
shining
that's-
star of everything.
They need to reboot.
No, it's
this
everyone
shit,
that they
man.
built
I
up
don't
in
care what
this.
they
So
need
it's
to
going to be
reboot all-
Riri and
They need to
Yeah.
just fucking hit the
I must
delete button
admit
on
that.
everything they got and start from scratch.
There's a Black Panther Storm son, and because
Yeah.
I quit Marvel in 2015, so I guess I missed the whole character.
I know
Yeah,
that
to
there
be
was Young
honest, I
Adventures
wasn't sure
comics,
that
but I
either.
just saw a Young Adventures animated movie that I was told was accurate to the comics, but I don't know for sure.
But then
And-
again, with this multiverse, I'm sure there's every character.
That's probably true. But I mean, it was just the animated movie was great because you got this world that has been taken over by Ultron. All of the
so it's an
parents have been
alternate
killed.
Earth.
Yeah. It's an alternative Earth. Ultron's taken over the whole world. They've been kept in seclusion. These kids, which are the children of multiple different Avengers, have been kept in seclusion. The young girl who's Steve Rogers' daughter is dealing with that. She feels like maybe she should be leading, and then T'Challa's son thinks he should be leading, and he's worried about being able to control Black Panther powers and having Storm's powers and trying to live up to the memory. They're all psychologically damaged, trying to live up to the memory of their parents. And it was actually a really interesting look in some ways. I mean, it was an animated movie, so it wasn't super in depth, but I was like, these are interesting characters. These are interesting issues that they would have if they'd been put in this situation. And I just don't see, like, they're never going to do that. They're never going to have these kids have the existential issues that they had because A, they can't write that deep, and B, there's never any way to make.
Does this even excite people with New Avengers? Hey, you have Kamala Khan. What's good about her? Oh, she eats vagina. Yeah, she just eats pussy. Yeah, that's her build. She just stretches.
I heard
more
her power
bitches out.
They're not going to have a Muslim girl be a lesbian.
Oh man,
Oh God,
There
yeah.
will be
And this is
there will
supposed to
be
be a
riots
Disney
if they do
show.
that. If they actually if they make it that official, there will be riots, and I will laugh my ass
Yeah.
off.
There's no way their
They'll-
first,
Yeah, no way
the
they have
first
balls for
Muslim
that.
superhero
Really,
girl in
I-
the movies is going to be a lesbian. There's no way. She's not even going to have a love interest. She's, and that's
Yeah.
going to be the problem. She's
At
going to
best,
be
they're probably getting an
such a
arranged
token
marriage. At
that
best.
they won't do anything bad to her or good. She's just going to be bland.
Yeah, because that's the thing is people like Kamala Khan. People like the actress, but the character is
The actress
bland
is
as
very,
fuck.
she seems like
Yeah.
a sweet kid. I'm not,
But
And
I
what
mean,
she's saying things that I think are great.
She put up a
saying the
post
reason
that
these
I
movies
did
aren't
agree
too
with.
different is the characters
I-
aren't likable.
I
you
had
know?
retweeted something that she had put out, and it's a twofold thing. So I think I put out a tweet where it was she had mentioned that Marvel needs to bring people back to make them care about their characters again.
Yeah.
The problem here is that she doesn't understand that they did that before. They screwed the MCU screwed themselves. They
Yes.
brought in characters that no one gave a fuck about, and their movies bombed. They did that themselves. People
Also, I'm
already
sorry,
cared
Kamala
about these
Khan
characters.
has the potential to give you a really great movie and or story about the immigrant story, about how what it's like to be a first generation. I mean, I remember that I believe in the comics or something, there was something with her and America Chavez and her complaining about her parents wanting her to be more traditional and that her mom wants to teach her to cook and all this stuff. And America's like, you know what? Stop bitching. I would kill to have my mom's back. You're such a spoiled brat. And it was a good argument, and it was a good time to slap Kamala and go, hey, you're an American, yes, but you have a history. You should know what it is. You should understand it.
Here,
It was
I'll
a
show you
really
guys right now.
It was a good
So-
immigrant story.
One of the I think one of the media outlets had an interview with her, and then she had mentioned Iman Vellani thinks the MCU should focus on making the audience care about the characters. She's not like wrong
She's got a
with what she's
point.
saying here.
She
This
wasn't
isn't
the worst part of that
wrong,
movie.
but the problem here is like they did this before. They already made people care. They made people
No,
stop
they stopped.
caring with
How
their
old is
bad
this girl?
movies and their
Girl
bad
wants me to get back to
storytelling.
doing that.
Yeah,
How old is this girl?
It's like 16,
20.
probably.
Yeah,
she's
so
20.
like, think about it.
20,
For
yeah.
7 years, they've been making shit characters. She doesn't remember when she was 9. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Paid attention to the movie, so she's got a valid point.
She's gonna be like,
No,
every Gen Z
Not
kid,
Robert
she
Downey
walks through,
Jr. doesn't say that because he remembers. Because to him, it was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, like so her statement's not it's not that it's wrong, it's more like they need to get back to doing that. That's
Right.
what I think they need to get back to make people care about the characters before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
think
the
the
thing-
pendulum is swinging back.
I hope. You know,
Hopefully,
or I just start making pornos and I make snuff films. That'll make box office bank. BBC slanging. That'll be my name.
$3
I mean-
million for opening night.
Try it, I guess, but
Casting couch. I
You
need
do
women,
understand that
'cause I-
snuff films are illegal, right?
Tiny on black. We get away with a lot of things at this point now.
Check.
oh wait,
I
you
don't
are in
think murder
California, maybe.
On live murder on video is quite the same
That,
as
that Russian guy
stealing
did it.
$900 worth of shit.
I'm not. I meant snuff as far as porno. I was joking, obviously, but hey, black people now do bad things. They get released on bail the next day. Hey, man,
Or no
Democrat
bail, no
society.
bail, because bail reform
no
means
bail.
no bail.
That's everybody, honestly.
I just need hot ladies to sleep with on a casting couch, and we're good to go. You know, I'll start saving
Okay,
cinema.
so it's a
one
pretty
porno at
high
a time.
hurdle then.
You go on Figueroa Road, you'll find a bunch of them.
You do
And they
realize they don't
fire.
put porn in cinemas, so you can't save cinema.
Do you consider porn cinema, Tiny? They do have
No,
award shows.
I don't.
I thought you were fun. Oh my god, jeez.
I think
So-
porn's fine. I don't think it's cinema.
Why
Yeah,
is it
they-
not?
It was
Hold
at
on.
one
Some
point,
things
and then
are
they
silly.
tried
That
again.
girl made me feel like I loved her. That is cinema. If she can captivate my attention for that long and make me feel like I'm there, that's cinema. You're lying to me. What you lying to me? I'm in
Well,
love now.
I have to say, I like all the memes that are coming out with the all-female pirate stuff or Pirates of the Caribbean, since they're going to try to
Oh, yeah.
replace Johnny Depp.
That's dead on arrival
It's
too.
all the pirate pornos, and they're hilarious.
Yeah, I thought that's kind of what you were referencing, but that was kind of the last time that they tried to do that. Like, I don't know, that
Well,
was
no, they're
like
trying
the
to do it
highest
with,
budget.
now that they're trying to do it again.
With a
They,
black.
They've actually hired a woman.
Yeah.
They're trying to make it happen. All of those are coming back, and now there have been sequels to those. So there's like 3 or 4 different memes of different porno crafted. I mean, Pirates of the
Tiny, are
Caribbean.
you a
I-
connoisseur of the pirate porn that we should know about? You know, you got any?
Like,
hints?
Hey, man, it was one of the- it was- It was the biggest budget porn of all time. If you don't know about it, you're lacking on your porn knowledge.
Yeah,
sir.
with Deep Throat Island.
But
Deep
I-
Throat Island.
Yeah.
I heard about it the first time when they first. I heard about it the first time when they talked about bringing Margot Robbie in to replace Johnny Depp, and that was hilarious. And now this time when they're going to bring the black actress in to replace Johnny Depp, they're showing the original and all of the sequels, of which there's like 2 or 3.
What the point of the movie? I think they said like they're trying to get a Irish woman, but that lady don't look like she's Irish at all. Just saying.
I mean, there's black Irish people, but
Really?
No, the black Irish were fucking Spaniards. They're not
Oh.
actually black.
I mean, black people can't afford to get over to there. They can have
There
welfare.
can be
and
black
food
people
stamps
from
they take care
Ireland.
of.
There can be black people from Ireland, but the black Irish as a phrase, as a thing, were the
Mhm.
Spaniards who survived the sinking of the Armada, and they ended up in Ireland.
So what does that make
And
me?
they had darker skin and they all had black hair. That's why they were called black
still
Irish.
a loser.
Oh, thank you, Gray.
I'm sorry. I get very
Irish
angry that
guys.
people know nothing of history.
I love how MSK guys got.
everyone doesn't know Irish history.
Oh,
We weren't taught that in school.
don't they get like pots of gold during fucking St. Patrick's Day or something? I don't remember about these people.
What? What about St. Patrick's Day?
Aren't you guys the leprechaun?
What did you
people?
just say about these people?
What do you mean these people?
What you mean, these people?
My mother's. I don't want to say my mother's maiden name because then everybody will break into my accounts.
Oh gosh.
let's just say my grandfather was from Ireland, and he was arrested by the British for his participation in the Troubles.
Oh god.
He was put on a prison ship without a trial.
Oh
Yep.
shit.
Lord. But we'll be heading out of here in about like
I do
15
love
minutes.
Black
But
and Tans as a
But I do
song.
want to say thank you to John and Rogue for swinging by tonight. You know, a few of our
Mhm.
panelists
Yeah,
were
thanks for
not feeling
inviting
so
me.
good. Yeah,
Thanks for
anytime.
keeping me up past my bedtime.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
B Squad kicked in. We're the B Squad for MSK's entertainment.
B
Yeah.
Squad.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
Lord.
what I heard. You heard that too, Rogue? That we were the.
Well,
we-
hey, man,
we
I'm
were
like
the
the
second-
B
We're
squad.
literally
Man.
the
He
B
didn't even
Squad.
call
We're the
me.
backup for the backups. He only hits me up when he needs assistance.
Yeah, he asked other people
I
to
hear
the
this guy like
problem.
once
Said
a
no.
month.
Hey,
Well, he actually
I
reached out to you guys. I just chatted in. That's what it took. For
I
him to reach out to me.
forgot. I'm sorry. You know Randy Zimmerman. He's supposed to be on like a month, not this week's Monday show, but the last one. I legit forgot to give him the link, and I told him he could be on.
I mean, you'll be forgetting.
You're
He's
very
like,
bad.
I don't want to send no
Look,
link.
you're very good at a lot of stuff, MSK, but remembering to send links to lots of
Oh my god, praise from women. Oh god,
different
gross.
at all.
Randy's great. Have him on and ask him to do the Stan Lee voice.
Oh, I love her. Oh, Randy's awesome, man. Oh god. Also, I found my Xbox controller, so I can now play my other games that my friend bought me. Actually,
What's that covered in?
This is red.
That's the blood of his
Okay,
phone.
the light caught it a little funny.
That sounds kind of gay, actually. Good lord. MSK is always
That's where
thirsty
my
for
mind
clout.
went too.
What's he
Sorry.
good at? Well, he's good at being ridiculously prolific with his videos. That's what he's good at.
She means prolifically good in bed with women. Actually, yeah, I'm a sex god.
Okay, you're gonna run off another girl from the panel.
Nice to look at
The fourth girl you ran away.
No, he's awesome in bed. He has the most vivid dreams ever.
I think like her and Selena are they have to be the longest running women we have
Who the
here.
fuck is
Have to be.
Selena? I've been gone too long. Who's Selena?
Selena's Iron's wife, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's funny how many people do not realize that because they'll stream at the same time, but they have separate little offices, so people don't get that they're actually
Yeah,
married.
it's
and
two separate studios, man. That's not the same room.
we were on with somebody, I can't remember who it was, and after it was over, they were like, I think there might be something going on between Selena and Iron. I
I
was like,
got
yes,
a
they're very
feeling.
flirtatious for a married couple.
Yeah, imagine married couples live together. It's kind of what you do if you're married, you know?
Yeah.
That's
What?
gross.
You live with your husband? What the fuck?
That sounds like that's so 1930s of you. Holy shit.
That's not progressive of you. You should have your own separate house that he pays for. What the fuck is wrong with you, sister?
You know, there's married couples that
Yeah.
sleep in different beds, actually, in the same
That's
room.
weird.
That's
They only-
weird.
I've only known them to do that when they separate, but they don't want to they're both too broke to live on their own, so they're in the same home.
No,
My
I know couples.
girlfriend
I
in
know
high
couples that one or both of them snores, and so they'll like have marital relations, and then they go to separate beds because they can't be in the same
that
room
would
when they're
suck.
sleeping.
I mean, it's more machine. It's a machine for that.
My girlfriend in high school, her parents, they split up, but they couldn't afford to get rid of the house, so they built an entrance, and one of them lived upstairs, one of them lived downstairs.
That's cool. I like that.
Solutions.
Yeah,
Solutions. You
I
can't
mean,
stand a
whatever
woman,
works.
so you just
Everyone-
You
build.
can create an
Yeah,
in-law
definitely.
suite. You can create an in-law suite for the one who's leaving, and then once they're gone, you can rent it out.
He,
yeah, there you go.
he couldn't stand his ex-wife, so he legit built something to make sure he didn't have to interact with her. That's so base, man.
Well, there's a channel I watch called the Y-Files on YouTube, and the guy that runs it, I think him and his wife does the same thing where they're both in separate rooms. So when they're doing their panel discussions, you kind of think like, are they together? And then they kind of reference each other like they live together in separate rooms.
Oh god! If anyone's on watching on Rumble, I'm trying to figure out a way to integrate the Rumble live chat.
Where
into-
are you on right now? YouTube?
It's Twitch, X, and Rumble.
What the fuck? I thought I saw
Oh, yeah.
YouTube. Chat.
Have you gotten the Rumble Studio
I do
yet? The beta
actually.
thing?
Oh, you're live. on
Have you tried it out? I tried it the other
No.
day, and it didn't seem as like intuitive and easy to share videos.
That's why
So- and you can't do a
I
video
tried to go
background
through
either.
it. No, like I was gonna do a test stream to link it up, but this already does everything I need. And if I'm paying for a quality service like this one, I'm just staying here. I already paid for
I don't know.
it.
Just technically, you don't need to pay for that one though. If you could get that to work, because like right now you've got a static image background, so That might work. I'm usually using video backgrounds that don't support that
You
yet.
want me to have
but
porn or
no big
something
deal.
back here? Virtual background. All right, I have my room.
I would prefer not to, but you know, either way.
So you want me to look like this?
That is
See, we
so
know that ain't your house.
unbelievable, man.
Everyone here knows that ain't your
Put
house.
the dungeon back. Put
I-
the dungeon
I-
back, man.
I thought, hey, this could be my house. Actually, you never know. You actually
That's
never
funny.
know.
That's the same.
We know.
That's the same background that what's her name? Path of the Pale Rider uses. Lori.
Oh yeah, she does. Yeah.
So that, I thought that was her house. So that's like a that's part of what StreamYard. You could use that.
Yeah,
or
that's a
something?
general
dude, that one
virtual
sucks,
background that they
stranger.
give you. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Learn something new every day. That's how life is. I love it. Your house is as real as your wife. There's a channel I watch called Posting MSK's L's, and there's a black
channel.
couple.
Let me look it up.
There's a channel called good lord. People just want to see me post L's or something. I have no clue why. It's cringe.
No, I found a bunch of compilations online. It's kind of fun.
It's the thing about Rumble. It's just hard to grow on Rumble for the most part. I'm fine with the audience that I have. There's people that watch there, but it's I'll grow on both platforms. It doesn't matter, honestly. It takes time. For the YouTube channel. No, I'm on YouTube actually. I uploaded a video like yesterday, actually.
And this
The
is
YouTube
not
channel-
on YouTube.
Are you out of your mind?
I wouldn't have thought so, but when I tried to join the chat, it said I had to join the chat through YouTube. So I don't.
That's weird. Yeah, I posted a video yesterday. Maybe we'll hit 1,000. The goal maybe this year is just to hit like 900 subs actually, because we're like 865 right now. So
what platform?
I'm just on YouTube actually. So we'll see how it
Nice.
goes.
Well, you're close, man. You're in the 800s.
Yeah, close to 900.
You know what you got to do. Just do it.
It's just, Lord, man, it
Write
takes a
down
while to grow
strategy,
now.
Follow the strategy. You'll be fine.
I just show my butthole for 5 subs.
You're just
That's
hard-headed.
not a
You
good
gotta-
strategy. No.
That's not a good strategy. I agree with
Hey,
Trey.
I could give
butthole
relationship
thumbnail.
advice. That's what I'll do.
WC
I think we
wants you
can
to
find
post your
fantasy
news.
somewhere else.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Road to 1K subs. If I ever post that, women I know guarantee will hit me up for sex.
If you
Guaranteed.
post your news,
These,
yes,
women.
I promise.
Sure.
Not
I
X-Men.
believe you.
Not
Dylan,
X-Men.
No,
Dylan Mulvaney will be hitting you up for sex.
No,
Yeah.
yes.
no.
Women.
And some lady boys.
Oh god, I prefer women with vaginas. Not
You gonna have all
slinging.
the lady boys in your inbox. Jerking
If
off
I-
to your dick.
If girls see that stuff, I'm gonna be getting hit up a lot by single women. And I don't got.
I
time
hear
for
you
that.
like to get hit up a lot.
Women are gonna be like, "Oh my god, it's 9 inches. I need to jerk you off," and I'm like, "You know what? You need to go to sleep, lady. You need to go to bed."
He's like, don't touch me.
I'll call the cops on you. Actually,
You thought you can beat my own dick better than me? No.
That is the perfect Richard. Captain
Nice.
Pike,
That's good casting.
that's good.
That's
That
the
was true.
you know, of course he's dead. That was the original Captain Kirk, Captain Pike from the
Yep.
pilot of Star Trek.
Yep.
Oh my god, I see that. I get sad that will never happen. That would have been perfect.
It would have been really cool.
Chess says, "Too bad
I have
Lennon
to
is
say, I
on."
have to say the only I
No.
think the only scene in all the Discovery bullshit that was any good at all was that scene where Pike supposedly finds out what's going to happen to him, and they use the footage from the cage,
Oh yeah,
and he still picks up the crystal. And someone looks at him and says, "No one who's ever seen their true future ever keeps a crystal." And it was just this idea that Pike really is that honorable, has that much integrity. He's willing to. And the person even says, if you drop the crystal, that won't necessarily happen. That won't be your future. If you take the crystal, it will be your future. And he takes the fucking crystal anyway, because that's who Pike is. And that's why Spock will risk his entire career and his life to do what he does to kidnap Pike and take him back to the Forbidden Planet. It was,
Oh,
I think
okay,
out of 4 seasons of Discovery, one scene. That was the only good part.
so Discovery is not a rewrite. It's supposed to be a prequel. It's supposed to be that ship's 5-year adventures before the original
Yep.
series.
Yep.
So I didn't watch it because
they have one season that the Enterprise is like they say the Enterprise is undergoing refits because their holographic interface doesn't work right, so they're going back to the original screens. And supposedly that's why when we watch TOS, they have those screens instead of the same real holographics that we're seeing on Discovery. And while the Enterprise is down, he and his number one go and become captain of Discovery for a year. Okay. And then I don't know. I couldn't watch it.
I tried
to get through the first 2 seasons and I wanted to cry every single episode. I don't know where it happened after that, but I do know that they let Pike take over for a while. And during that time period, they needed a special crystal from somewhere near Kronos or something. And if he picks up the crystal, he'll have that horrible, horrible death or horrible mutilation.
Well, he gets to live the rest of his life with what's her name? Oh,
yeah, with Vanna, something like that.
Vina. I'm trying to think. Vina. Yeah. Oh my God, she was probably my first crush. Tell me she wasn't the cutest. You know, she did the green sexy girl. She was, you know. She
plays an Orion slave girl. She was the sweet girl next door. They did all the different things. And then when they show him what she really looks like, because they didn't know how to put her back together right. They didn't understand. Right. And then like, she can't leave here. She'll die because her body doesn't work right. We keep her alive. And then when his body is completely destroyed because he was willing to sacrifice his life to save that student at the academy, then Spock's attitude is he has earned the right to live out the rest of his days with her there.
Yeah. Vina.
And he had earned it.
Susan Oliver. That's her name.
TOS had so much heart. It had so much truth. It had so much honor embedded in it.
Yeah, Captain Kirk is my favorite. William Shatner, Captain Kirk. I don't care. He's the best. He's the best captain. And Captain Kirk only once, the Splinter, the dagger in the mind's eye. Is that the name of the episode? With the machine that drives everybody crazy.
Yeah.
Dr. Noel, she shows up and Kirk is ashamed that he slept with her at a Christmas party. And that's to show you that Kirk realizes that he cannot be with anybody that he has authority over. And for the rest of the season, he never does. Whereas Riker hits on every freaking ensign that walks into 10 forward. You know,
MSK identifies as Riker.
There's a meme that's been going around that's, I don't know if it's exactly a meme, but it's this thing where it shows Kirk and Picard, and it says everyone thinks Kirk was this rowdy, crazy guy because his first officer is Spock, and anyone next to Spock looks like a man whore, and everyone thinks that Picard was this very calm, restrained, studious guy because next to Riker, anyone looks like a fucking monk. And the truth is, when they were both at the academy, Kirk was known as the books with legs because he was always carrying tons of books. And they said, what was it? It's like, if you take such and such a class, watch out for the TA because Kirk will get you.
Yeah.
And whereas Picard was getting drunk and running around, and the day after he graduates, he gets stabbed through the heart because he starts a fight with a fucking Nausicaan.
Yep. Remember, you know, Kirk never slept with anybody he had authority over. Riker hit on anything that walked by, including like the privates and the ensigns. And Dr. Bashir hit on his patients while he was examining them.
Yeah.
You know, Kirk was fine. Kirk was absolutely.
Kirk only fucked the princesses.
Down and you know, he slept with girls that he didn't have any authority over.
Exactly.
And then Kirk was quoting Shakespeare to pick up women, you know.
Yep. And then you've got with the episode with the Troyans and the proof that his soul is bound to the Enterprise. That is his wife. That is his greatest love, is the Enterprise, because the Troyans, her tears touched him and he was still able to let her go because of his duty, because of his integrity.
Yep.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I love the original. Here you go. Right here. Little bit of Star Trek proof.
Oh, nice phaser.
Tiny, do not give Tiny credit. We don't give women credit here.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
What did I do, Tiny?
You invited me on and gave me a link.
You creeped us all out.
Oh gosh. But no, we'll be wrapping it up here in a little bit because I
Good.
gotta
I
get
gotta
some
go
other
to
stuff
sleep.
done. Yeah. Oh, I mean, I forgot. You can realize John can give me all his comics, and then I could like ship them out actually to some charities to give
That
kids.
sounds like a bad idea.
That's gonna happen. That the same amount of chance of that happening is you banging Tiny over here. So
Oh God, that thing
It's
is
not gonna happen, dude.
Good Lord, yeah, her body cannot handle that. She's a fragile human being. She would like break. Actually,
I don't break, and I'm not fragile. I'm in agonizing pain.
And you have common sense. So
she reminds me she remind me of someone that I used to know. I didn't like her. She was a complete fucking worthless bitch.
you remind me
but
of somebody that I hate, Tiny.
wow.
she had the same chronic pain that Tiny does. But the difference was she had lost sight in an eye. Actually, but she was a complete asshole. I was like, man, this bitch is a piece of shit. Maybe God has been good fucking you over. I don't care.
Well,
Good Lord.
You were a horrible
years
person.
and years ago, I realized that I could deal with everything, and I could cry or I could laugh, because in my personal opinion, every single situation in life comes down to you can cry or you can laugh.
Yep.
And I was going to be laughing as much as possible. Sometimes I'm laughing with tears in my eyes. Sometimes I'm screaming into the pillow to keep it quiet. But generally, I'm laughing because
That's what I did in prison.
it's a choice.
Yeah,
Yes,
you know,
for a
you're
different
supposed
reason.
to have the same pain, but you're gonna have less laughing, right? Is that the meme?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
the condition's not going to go away just because I'm angry all the time. or I'm depressed and thinking about, like, I mean,
What's the name of the condition that you have, if you don't mind me asking?
it's a couple. I have myalgic encephalomyelitis, which is also known as chronic fatigue immune deficiency syndrome.
Okay.
I have POTS, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. I have severe fibromyalgia, small fiber neuropathy, and some central nervous system damage and neuro damage that came from that.
Okay.
Okay,
But
so, like,
nothing that'll
nothing.
affect your mentality, because you're not stupid enough to go out with master swag, is what I'm hearing.
Wait a minute. I thought you were supposed to be
That
helping
was
me out.
wrong. That joke, I couldn't wait for the payoff. That was a good payoff.
Good. Good Lord. I was trying to go like, man, he's gonna help me out. Nope, he's against me. Good.
I
Actually,
love everybody,
gosh.
but that was a good joke. That was a good joke.
That was
I,
a pretty
I
setup.
thought
You
I
played
was gonna
perfect.
get some help, and he's just like been like what the comic industry is. He's just sitting here sabotage me behind the scenes.
Masterfully, though. I'm sorry, I almost stepped on that.
Oh. Well, after I get the
I tease. Can I promote tomorrow? I'm gonna have Eric July on my channel, 7:00 Eastern.
Oh my God, that's so cool! Congratulations.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
man,
awesome.
that's really cool.
Before. He's been on before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, put in a good word for me. Be like, hey, MSK, hot, sexy, good-looking man. Would love to have you on the show too.
Yeah, don't do that.
So,
Just business as usual. Just you're good.
Someday you're going to end up in a fight with Ruin Leon.
Oh Lord, goodness gracious.
Well, he also says he's the sexiest black man on YouTube. So,
no, I have that title for myself.
like I said, you're going to end up in a fight with Leon.
Self-diagnosed.
Oh gosh. Well, I've had a pretty good first day off. I'm obviously off Wednesday, Thursday. I get off early on Tuesday, so I got comic books to review, got stuff to read. I know Mr. John is gonna eventually love when I can get to this one. Beautiful, right? I was waiting for. I thought I bought the trade paperback, so I bought issue 2 where he's holding the alien tongue come at him. So I'm gonna get to this one when I can get issue 2. Weapon?
Is that written by Chuck Dixon?
Remember, actually, let me see. Let me pull it out. I don't like damaging it because it looks really good. It's not even that damaged. They said it was damaged. It looks completely fine. Actually, this is written by obviously me because I'm a great writer. Actually, written
Even better reader.
Story by Ron Mars.
Oh, okay. Ron Mars.
This was printed in Canada though, so probably a L. C.S. Johnson sent my comic book in construction paper you buy at Walmart, and I was like, lady, you're lucky you're a MILF. Otherwise, I'd throw you out a window, actually.
Ron Mars just blocked me on Twitter.
What did you do? Where?
I think I disagreed with him.
Oh, no. See, that. Yep. you don't agree with everything he's ever said in his entire life.
That
in
is
every
unforgivable.
conversation. Yeah.
I don't understand that. I expect people to disagree on certain things. It's if someone totally trolls you or rips on you in a really nasty way, I get it, but why did you just mute the conversation or mute the person for temporarily at least? I don't understand people who don't like what you say on one subject and block you completely. I don't get that.
Yeah. He said something about Trump, and I was just like, yeah, it was so horrible when we had no wars, when gas was under $2. And as me as a construction worker, I was turning down overtime because I was tired from all the work. Things really stunk under Trump, and that was it. So,
well,
so
if it makes you feel any better, I got blocked by Dan Vask for saying that his video was a thirst trap.
So we're gonna do shout outs. We're gonna do shout outs.
All his videos are.
And we're gonna have fun time giving me all the clout. Just joking, guys. So we'll start with Gray. What you got going on?
Tomorrow night I have a stream where I'm talking to a professional comedian. There's been a bunch of people who made videos saying that Chappelle isn't funny, so I just wanted to talk to a professional comedian, kind of get his opinion on that. And then Saturday I should be having my AI art. I think it's a good thing, but I'm talking to an actual artist who's saying that it's a bad thing. So hopefully that's going to be a fun discussion. But
you should block him.
Yeah.
Disagree.
I'm thinking about it. But yeah, other than that, every Thursday I'm on That Darn Kiddas show for the Thinkers. So that's what I got going on my thing.
Yep. Tiny, beside obviously, hanging out with me, because everyone wants to do that. What does he got going on?
Well, I hang out with you on Tuesdays and Saturdays. But on Wednesdays, I'm with the Common Nerd for the midweek, whatever it's called. I think it's Winding Down Wednesdays. I feel bad that I never remember the title. But it's on the Common Nerds channel on Rumble. And that's about it. I was working on getting my own site up, and I will eventually, but I've been informed by my doctors I need to lessen my energy output. So I'm putting that on hold for the moment.
That's fine. I already got you to commit to a black man. Fuck, you probably never thought you were ever doing that. So
at least 2 days a week.
Mr. Longbox, what you got going on, man?
Like I said, tomorrow I have Eric July on my channel. My channel is John's Longbox on YouTube. I have a comic that I'm currently building the campaign, and I'll just say I'll launch it sooner rather than later. It's called Heroic Tales. My merchandise, I got pint glasses with the patriarch symbol on it. It's a return to old school comics, Blue Sky comics. The patriarch is an unabashed father, good guy, husband. He loves his wife. No shenanigans like that. But with stakes and consequences. Each issue is going to feature a different superhero, kind of like the Avengers movie, Marvel movies, until the team is formed, and then we'll have a team. That's the first arc. Please, I would love for you, Renzo Rodriguez doing the art. I already showed the art; it's phenomenal.
Looks great. Yeah, you dropped the cover page today. Looked good.
Yeah, that was the back cover. Yeah, the front cover is action. The back cover is why he's fighting for his his family. He's keeping the world safe for his family. And then I'm off for a month, so almost every night I'm having a conversation with comic book people.
Cool.
So people, if you have active campaigns or if you're about to have an active campaign or you want to send me a message, on Twitter, and if the next available date, we'll talk comics. I had, this is my third talk today. I've been talking for hours all day today. It's fun, because I'm not working right now.
Yeah. John, hopefully John will put in a good word. Hopefully. You haven't
talked to Eric July.
He's got common sense.
Yeah, I was supposed to have something set up, but it was supposed to go through someone else, and I don't know if that's ever going to happen. So I'll probably just have to do it the good old fashioned email way, Yeah,
that's how I got. I emailed him months. He came on already. He came on when I only had like 400 subs. So I remember. Nobody. We had a good time. We were laughing and joking. So wait,
hold on. You talked to a black man? You had a good time?
Yeah.
What? I heard they were all like gangbangers and hoodlums from CNN. Actually.
Well, he thought I was
listening to what Eric says about his early life.
Oh gosh!
And then I invited him back, and I haven't heard from him in months. And then he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll come back." So You know,
That's
Just like
really
my
cool.
my dad didn't say he'll come back. That is not what happened actually.
Also,
but I do
I
want to say,
want to say that
yes.
I'm more than willing to show up on other people's streams if they'd like to invite me, but I don't do mornings. I got a really great invitation
give
to
you
a really
permission for
great
that.
stream the other day, and it was like Sunday mornings at 8 a.m. in California, and I just can't freaking do that.
I didn't tell you.
Message me. I only do after work because I have a 9 to 5 job.
Woohoo!
I didn't tell you could go on other
What
people's
state are you
shows.
in? You don't have to tell me what town. Which state are you in?
I'm in California, so I'm Pacific time.
Okay, so yeah, I'm in New York time. So if you want to message me, I'll forget because my brain is mush. But message me, we'll set up a time. You seem to know your comic book stuff. I think it would be a fun talk.
Thank you.
I didn't give her permission to be on John's show. That's how.
Oh,
it
I'm
works around
sorry. You are the master, so I got
MSK.
here.
You know, you've got no you are not the master of that domain, sir.
And
Oh, good Lord.
you should be doing voice acting, man. That is a great voice.
I agree.
Well,
Gray
thank
has
you.
a
I
very-
attempt.
Gray has a very nice, deep, soothing voice. He'd be very
Yeah,
good for
yeah,
certain,
I would-
for a lot of voiceover stuff.
Try to sell me something.
He did like that one Leonardo DiCaprio movie. Sell me this pen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on that. Right now I'm going for the believable part, but yeah, I will go for this hard sell. So
Great Poupon. Your homework is to listen. I can't even think of his name now. Barry White. Go home and listen to some Barry White. The next
Yeah.
time I
oh,
see you,
let's get it on.
do that talk singing like Barry White does.
Hell yeah.
No, but I do want to say thank you to John and Rogue for
Thank you.
coming through tonight. Yeah, anytime. We had a few people were like not feeling so good, so nice to have some backups. Always have a backup. That's what Klaus said in the Vampire Diaries. Always have a backup. That's how it works. Of course, a Tiny. She's one of the ladies of all time, so we'll just keep it that.
Well, I like coming on this channel because we always talk about goofy comic book stuff, so it's nice.
Yeah, and everyone knows I'm a sucker for like comic stuff that not just relates to the real world. It's just more like that's why I think Civil War did as good as it did. That's why I like it as much as I do. Is because it dealt with things that are like, okay, if you straight up dropped an entire like rock on someone's entire like city, how would they feel about that? It was one of the first MCU movies to talk about, well, how does like the actual person feel about you guys existing? Those are those to me are relatable things because it would show that you're somewhat in the real world. But nevertheless, MSK is making all of his panelists sick. Oh my lord! Sell him.
Yeah, there's just something going around. There's something going around.
Comic books and butt stuff.
I hear it's part of his cloud.
There you go.
If you put that, that'd be like the grinder of like shows. You start doing that, man.
Have you guys heard what
so capture your interest?
Hello.
Have you heard what Fabian Nicietta said to me?
No.
Stick a comic book up my
No.
What?
Seriously?
Yeah. If you go to John De La Rosa's channel and see Fabian Nicietta tells a comic book fan to stick a comic up his butt, that was me. So first of all,
man,
little bit of context. He was on my channel. We had a talk. We had a full on conversation. He was a little condescending. I didn't respond the way I wanted to because he was a guest on my channel or whatever. So we started talking, and we on Twitter we respond back and forth. We obviously disagree, but it's been civil. So then he says, Gina
I like
Carano,
yeah.
With that, yeah, he says Gina Carano got what she deserved.
Ugh.
So I played dumb. I was like, I don't follow Star Wars, Fabian. What did Gina Carano actually say? And he responds, I don't know. I don't really follow, but I think it was something.
I remember.
You don't know what she said, but you're going to say she deserved to get what happened to her.
You had your comment on Az and Eric's show, Rip and Silverback. I don't know if you knew that. Yeah,
they were.
People, what's that saying? You give someone enough rope, they'll hang themselves.
Yep.
I love how a person that stupid goes, hey, I don't know about the situation. By that logic, before we say anything else, why the fuck are you commenting then?
Right, that's what I
don't know about this, but I will just give my detailed, uninformed opinion.
So
people were outraged, so clearly it must be right.
Also, the thing that I think is funny that most people, almost anyone I've heard talking about this, miss one specific point of the whole thing that started it all with the beep bop boop. She specifically used beep bop boop because that would be what R2D2 would have had for his fucking pronouns.
Oh,
It
I
wasn't
didn't
just
see
she was making fun of them; she was making a Star Wars joke.
that. Oh, that's a good
Plus,
point.
it's funny.
And
so...
nobody ever mentions that. Almost no one ever fucking mentions that. That it wasn't that she was just like, A, she didn't want to use her pronouns. B, she didn't want to be a part of this stupid political shit. And C, when you forced her that she had to put something up there, she made a Star Wars joke for Star Wars fans, not you SJW bitches who don't know shit about good storytelling.
That's funny.
What a strong woman actually is. That
So-
woman would take half the idiot assholes whining about her shit and destroy them in the octagon. That's a real woman, and she stands by her principles. That's a strong woman. All the
Hello?
freaking bitches they have now are people that have no integrity, no honesty, no honor. They're just worthless fucking brat.
Well,
So when
I can't say the F
when I
word.
said to Fabian, I said, so you don't know what Gina Carano said, but you know she got what she deserved.
Mhm,
And then I
right?
typed out like a big long response and I deleted. I said, those two sentences succinct, whatever.
Yeah.
And he responds, John, I knew you were baiting me. Why don't you take a comic book, a treasury size edition, and jam it up your butt? So I said, Fabian, I'll leave the butt stuff to you, but I think you shouldn't comment on things that you admit that you don't know what happened.
Yeah, dude. No,
And
that
then
happened with the
CBS
Gina
was
Carano
talking
thing.
about it.
Do you know how many people said that to me? I was like, on my timeline when it got revealed that she was suing Disney. People
Yeah, but
said,
your
"Oh, she
timeline is
got
all
what
full of butt stuff.
where it was people that kept saying, "Well, she got what she deserved." What do you mean by that? You want her like beat up, hurt, killed? Is that what you mean? Because when people say "give what deserved," they mean I think I'm thinking some pretty bad shit there. What do
Well, I
you?
always say, what?
Also,
Well,
I'm
what did
sorry.
she say?
Why is it? Why is it? Yeah, why
Carl
is it showing a
Weathers
picture
posted the
from
same
World War?
exact quote.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and also, why is it by showing a picture of World War II of what was actually happening to Jews in freaking fucking Germany? That they had literally made people so crazy that young people would chase women down the street, and she showed that. And she
Right.
showed one other thing is that I hate to see people starting to attack their neighbors in a similar way. That's all she said. Where Pedro
Right.
Pascal was freaking telling half the country that they should go kill themselves. He was
Yep.
showing imagery of butchering regular people as well as killing the sitting president. So
Yep.
I'm sorry.
I
there's not-
agree. He's Reed Richards material.
Yeah,
exactly.
that's what I think of when I think of Reed Richards. Yeah, exactly. But anyway, that was my
Well,
celebrity.
Reed Richards probably could easily piss off half the country by just opening his mouth. I'll admit that part. Guy was an arrogant SOB of a scientist.
Well,
I mean, I never agreed with Dr. Doom, but there were times when I kind of understood why he really hated Reed.
I would
Yeah,
say
I-
thank you to
Bob.
every single person who came through tonight. It's awesome. But yeah, comic stuff is main stuff. I have stuff coming out, guys. It just takes a bit to get it done. But
Yeah, I
I'll
just
be
read
probably
I read Wrath of God today by Aaron Presti. Good read. Excellent.
this is the next one
Yeah.
I'm reading.
I'll probably read that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Both of those
Ooh.
look awesome.
So I'll do a review on it and we'll see what I got. But yeah, thank you guys for showing up tonight. And I'll hopefully be streaming League later. And if I'm not, I'll be tomorrow on one-on-one with Horror Amarada and Wednesday Top G's. We're gonna have a Valentine's Day special talking about marriage and a whole bunch of stuff,
Have a good
Tiny-
night, everybody.
You never get dolled up for me. What the fuck?
You really exist.
I
Yeah,
do.
she's
I
not-
actually exist.
She's not an ex woman. This is an actual human woman. Crazy. You're not an X-Men?
Nope, not an X-Men.
Uh,
Oh, it was really funny. I don't remember. I was on someone's stream with someone that had seen my avatar over and over and over again, and they flipped out when they saw I had short hair. They were like totally not ready for it.
Yeah, you can't come on my channel now unless you wear that wig.
Right?
Everybody loves a redhead.
Oh god, that's true. All right, everyone. We'll see you guys later. Have a great night, everybody. And if you're watching this from John Longbox's channel, my channel is Master Swag King on YouTube. Just type it in. I'll be the yellow lion guy and subscribe. Thank you so much, everyone. Good night, everybody.